mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Dive in at first into all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? It's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine?
Big smile, a funny face. Storm cloud, or a bit of shade. A dime of passion blue lane. Out of my mind, or barely sane. I'm trying to catch a breath, but breathing it in. And drumming out the noise, but it's trickling in. Keep me guessing, I wonder if you know. World going round, I'm letting it spin. Light is coming down and it colors your skin. I might take a drive to the unknown. 'Cause I wonder what it feels like. Oh, wait a minute, now carry on. Stay down or rise above. Oh, is it a red flag or recklessly in love? When I give it my all, I just wanna be enough. Trying to run it back when I'm cold in the feet. My boat is going mad, so weak. Yeah, I'll take the plunge to see if I float. 'Cause I wonder what it feels like. What? I wonder what it feels like. What? 'Cause I wonder what it feels like. Cause I wonder what it feels like. Oh, yeah. I wonder what it feels like.
don't even really know where to begin, because it seems like every time I get ahead, I end up going 2 steps back. So tonight, I'm just gonna let this one ride. You know what I mean?
That's the only way you're gonna elevate. Yeah, you gotta hold the line till it's showtime. Yeah, and just let your spirit shine. Well, sometimes there ain't no easy way to say all the things that we need to say. And we spend so much time looking for the easy road, when all we need is right there in our soul. Say what good is life if all you do is hide? Oh yeah, you gotta shine your light for the world to see, and let everything be what it's gonna be. Yeah, listen to your voice and make up your choice, and just let your spirit shine. Well, sometimes there ain't no easy way to say all the things that we need to say. We spend so much time looking for the easy road, when all we need is right there in our soul. You gotta let your, oh, you gotta let your, say you gotta
it's safe, and you can see it. It's easy for me to show, but sometimes I'm really brave, and that just means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my doubt created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Among the waves, let them take me as far as they want to go. And it's time for me to say, they won't break me, I'm braver than I know. It's my doubt created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see it. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me harder, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. Creating mountains where the valleys used to be, and all the things I thought I knew were changing like the seas. Yeah, but I have over.
I am unbreakable. I am unstoppable. I am an animal. How can they stop the unbreakable? I am unbreakable. I am unstoppable. I am an animal. How can they stop the unbreakable?
Well, we're into day two here in Sardinia at the Rolex TP52 World Championship. More of the same expected, but what a first day. Two great races, two different race winners, and just super tight at the top. A great, audacious port tack start, something we've not seen for many, many years on the 52 Super Series for Sled, just leading very slightly ahead of Value. But another great day in prospect, still light breezes, very exacting sailing. Now then, we caught up with Bruno Zerilli, the Italian navigator on board a Gladiator, 2024 World Champion, and this is Bruno. So Bruno Zerilli, what did you have for breakfast?
I have many things. I have fruits, I have some yogurt, I have croissant, and then toast and eggs.
Cappuccino?
No, not cappuccino. I don't like cappuccino.
Are you sure you're Italian?
Yeah. No, not for me.
Anyway, how's the first day on the Gladiator then?
Yeah, first day was a bit of up and down, and for sure we did some mistakes in the first race, but then we recover a bit in the second one. I think it's difficult to sail in a 15 boat fleet, and we have to think about how to improve our way, but for sure it's going to be fun.
And what about this dynamic at the back of the boat? Tony obviously missed the regatta in Puerto Portals. He's back and in great form. But the dynamic there between the afterguard, how's that working? How are you improving it step by step?
No, Tony is back in his position, and we have our protocol. Everybody in the back of the boat has an idea on the course, on the strategy. We speak with him, and he takes his final decision.
What about today? What's going to happen? More of the same?
Today, rumor says that we don't sail inside the beach, but we sail here in front of Porto Cervo. Maybe there is a little more wind than yesterday, so we can race outside here. And I think it's going to be a right day again, especially if we start in 100, 120 through in direction. If we start in 80, 100, maybe it's a more even course.
And as when the course is very similar from day to day, how does the fleet evolve? How does the processes change, Ed, from day to day?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody look at the video at the end of the day, and it's clear for everybody which is the best corner of the race course. But the point is how to get there, and from where to get there, and that's the race basically.
And that start yesterday from Sled, I mean, that's once every few years. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, they did a good job. They exploit the very huge pin bias, but also I think they were a bit lucky because both around them were not so in shape and were very late, and so the place nobody was there except them.
Do you think anybody else will try it?
It can be. I give like a 20% chance that someone try to do the same. But if today we race outside here in front of Porto Cervo, I don't think it's the case of such a big bias on the pin and such a strange kind of start.
Another big topic on the dock this morning. What did you have for breakfast? Vasco. Interesting.
I had, as usual, espresso. And here in the hotel there is a very nice torta della nonna with cream, and it's 3 days in a row that this is what I eat.
Torta della cream for breakfast?
Yeah, torta della nonna. Nonna is grandmother.
Yeah.
Grandmother cake.
And how much coffee? Just the one espresso?
One, but now I go for the second just to be ready.
Of course, every 4 years the Football World Cup coincides with at least one regatta in the 52 Super Series. Last night was Argentina were the talk of the evening, winning 3-0, Lionel Messi scoring all three, and Colli Parada, well, he's on great form this morning, inspired by the GOAT, the Maradona lookalike. Here's Colli Parada. So Colli, how are we feeling this morning?
All good. Yeah, condition seems to be roughly the same, but the breeze is enough to go outside, which would be perhaps a bit more of an open course. And we should try to keep chipping away. It's a long event. We didn't start with the right foot, but it wasn't disastrous, but could have been better. But let's fight it out.
Inspired by the Argentinian performance?
Will this answer your question? Yes. Full on.
There you go. Welcome to sunny Costa Smeralda, the northeast corner of Sardinia. The Yacht Club Costa Smeralda are our hosts this week. It's the Rolex TP52 World Championship 2026. We've got a record fleet of 15 boats, 3 past world champions, and we have one new boat here racing this week. Looking like a light wind start to the week, a light wind start today. Let's go racing. So race 1, a clear start. The wind is at 10 knots from 075 degrees. The right side of the upwind is slightly biased, slight benefit there. Teasing machine get out to the right early, as do Alkedo Vitamina. Top mark is the lead for teasing machine. Alkedo round second. No way back, Value and Platoon all overlap. Value get her through to third down the first run. Teasing machine leading, Alkedo second. Through the leeward gate, Value third. Then on the final run, this kite halyard separates from the kite for teasing machine. The kite drops back to deck. That allows Alkedo to get through to the lead. So through the finish line, it's a win for the Italian team in Alkedo Vitamina. Second is teasing machine from France, and third from Thailand, Value. So race 2, very similar. Wind access is 080 compared to 075, 1.9 nautical mile beat, and it's about 10 knots of breeze on the start line. Great start from Sled. They come off the pin end of the line with height and speed, cross the fleet and lead up to the top mark. They're really comfortable around the top mark. Second round are No Way Back. Third are Value, and it's a lead that continues to grow really for Sled. No Way Back hanging nicely. Value and Paprec getting a little bit of a battle, but through the finish line it's a big win for Sled. No Way Back gets second, and Value pit Paprec on the line for third. After 2 races, Sled, a fifth and a first give them 6 points. Value, a third and a third are also in 6 points. Sled leading only on countback, and No Way Back, a sixth and a second give them 8 points in third place.
Beach Motor Yachts, we build for those who lead. This comes from our history in competitive ocean racing, where advanced technologies and a spirit to win shape our every advantage on the water. We carry those lessons into every motor yacht that we design and build, using efficient and balanced hulls to deliver performance that feels effortless. Paired with meticulous craftsmanship and engineering, it creates a quiet confidence you can sense the moment you take the helm. Palm Beach Motor Yachts, from ocean racing innovation to cruising perfection.
So there we go, 2 good races yesterday, different boats winning the different races, first Alkedo and then Sled, but what a fantastic day of racing. We're going to join Katie. We've had a little bit of a delay, just waiting for the breeze to build. Katie Dabson on the water, how's it looking? Looks fantastic from the air, but nice and sunny, light breeze. But in terms of racing, what are we expecting?
Hot is the word of the day, hot. Yeah, it's been, as I say, it's been pretty warm out here. There's been very little breeze, but it's slowly building from about 090. It's the direction. We've got about 7 knots at the moment, and I think hopefully it will continue with this slow build and really start to settle itself. We've got a potential for it to track right throughout the day. I think the gradient breeze on the forecast was for it to track right a little bit, but it is, this is champagne sailing at its finest. It's so glam out here.
But the key thing is we're outside now. We're out of Porto Cervo. We're racing inside yesterday.
Yeah, very much different location for today's racing. A lot more out in the open ocean. A lot less land features than we saw in yesterday's racing. We still have got land on the right-hand side, which I do think will have an effect. But I think hopefully we'll see a little bit more of an open race course and a few more opportunities for the teams out there to kind of make places and probably some lose places as well.
What's your forecast for today then in terms of maximum wind speed?
I think it's still going to stay pretty light. I would be surprised if it went much over 10 knots. There's quite, just looking around on the shore, there's quite a bit of haze around the place on the shore. So I would be surprised if it heated up loads. So I'm kind of expecting, maybe 7 to 10 knots. Slow build up to that 10 potentially, but that's my predictions for the day.
Thank you, Katie. Now Moritz Forster, Momo, in the studio with us. What's your predictions for the day?
Well, I received a nice weather report from Master Corte this morning, and as Katie already said, we're looking at similar weather conditions to yesterday, but lighter out here, so you have less funneling as you do in the bay where we were racing yesterday, but similar sea breeze conditions, breeze slowly building throughout the day, and we should have a more even race course out there, so maybe a bit more tactics playing a role and not just gunning for the right side like yesterday.
Katie, what would be your strategy on this upwind then? It's a more open race course.
I think I'd probably still be favouring that right-hand side. I think, as I said, there is still land on that right-hand side, and with the forecast slowly tracking right, I'd probably be favouring that right-hand side, but I think I'd be looking at what the bias is off the line, probably trying to go with the bias end and then working my way out to the right would probably be my strategy today.
And what about that? Everybody's talking about that port tack start yesterday. I mean, it's kind of once in a lifetime, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. It was, especially in a fleet as kind of big as this and on it as this. I think there was a mixture of incredible bravery, I'll say, and mixed with a little bit of luck. I feel like we always got to have a little bit of luck just so that, right place, right time. But I mean, insane decision by them, and it was epic to watch.
I think one of the elements that worked in their favour was the boats closer to them coming up on starboard towards the pin were a little bit late, Momo, weren't they?
Yeah, they were a bit late, not quite on the line. I think the whole fleet was actually a bit late, including Sled. But if all the boats around you are very late, you get this kind of opportunity arises. I do think most of the tacticians must have seen the line bias, but there is a difference between just seeing it and then actually going for it.
Of course. But I think, it's good, great talking point from yesterday. That is what gives, in essence, that is what gives Sled the lead. Value and Sled sharing the same points tally, 6 points for them and 8 points at the moment for No Way Back. Let's have a quick look at the leaderboard then. As they Sled on 6, 5 and a 1 for them yesterday, so the lead only on countback by virtue of that first place in the second race yesterday. Value then super consistent, 2/3 in the first day, 6 points for them. No Way Back, 6 and a 2, 8 for them. Alkedo Vitamina, first in the first race, 9th and 10 also for Platoon Aviation. Teasing Machine, well, a bit of a roller coaster day for them after getting that second. They're disappointed to lose their kite in that first or second downwind at the beginning of that. That really cost them a point, but not so good in the second race. 16 points for them, 16 for Caballo Loco. Paprec, 13 and a 4 for 17, 18 for Criolla. Provezza, who were challenging for the regatta title in Puerto Portals last month, quite deep, 8th and a 10th for them, 18 points. But as I say, maybe a little bit of inspiration from the Argentinian football team. Of course, got Santilange and Colle Parada as the afterguard on Provezza. Let's not talk about Spain versus Cabo Verde and Nacho Postiga, the navigator, but a truly international team, of course, on Provezza. Allegra then in 11th place, 11th and an 8th. John Kostecki joining as tactician, working with Luke Patience. Gladiator, really not good in the first race, but rallied with the 5th in the second race for 20 points, 23 for Trinity Racing. Alpha Plus, 12 and a 12 for 24. And the Vudu, our new team, great to talk to the owner yesterday. He's pledging to get into the Super Series next season. Very much a toe in the water, humble and definitely very passionate and looking to go forward, say, in the Super Series. So, Momo, you know the Value guys pretty well. A third and a third for them yesterday. And talking with Manu, he was saying that very different situation for them now. The conditions remaining the same, certainly through the main part of the week. Might see a little bit more breeze on Friday. But can they come back and repeat again with top threes, top fours today?
Well, I think yesterday they did exactly what they set out to do. No hugely bold tactics, but just sailing fast. The boat likes these conditions, and the boat will like these conditions today. Just like Vudu, the older boats have a bit less wetted surface area, so they're nice and slippery in these light conditions. But yeah, I think it's they are comfortable and relaxed as ever. I think they have a kind of a good mentality going into these racing days.
They're very much the underdogs, but they're happy with that.
Yeah, but I think they do know that when they have the right conditions, they can perform very nicely. But it didn't really seem like the pressure was getting to them. I mean, it's a long regatta, and it's only the second day today. So I think keep on doing what you're doing and stay a little conservative, but sail fast.
You've sailed with him a few times. Manu Weiler, what characterises him as a tactician, do you feel?
Calm. He's definitely very calm, and that really spreads throughout the whole team. Sailing with them, it's quiet on board. They know what they're doing. It's super, super professional, even though you have the whole Whitcraft family sailing on board. All good sailors, but yeah, I think probably the most amount of amateurs on a boat in this series. But yeah, it's calm, and I think that really helps them perform at a high level.
Indeed, and of course Shane Elliott joining this year as navigator. Step up, you would have to say, navigator from Phoenix.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. I think they've got a good team, and everyone knows what they're doing, and even all the Whitcraft family have spent so many years on this boat that, they're one with the machine.
And what do we think about No Way Back then? No Way Back really sailed exactly as you'd expect them to sail yesterday. Percentage sailing, just incremental gains going forward in each race, as far as I remember. Very much sailing according to their template, according to their plan.
Yes, I was talking to Michele Valdi, and he said that's exactly what they were planning on doing. Nothing bold, sailing consistent, not having any shockers in the results table. And that's exactly what they did, and I think what they will continue to do.
So where would you like to start on this start line, given the opportunity?
It's always difficult to judge from the commentary box, but more than side, I would say clear air. In these conditions, it's quite difficult to get to speed when you don't have clear air. So really building speed early and hitting the line at full speed is maybe more important than the actual position on the line. Having space to leeward to kind of build speed and being close to the boat to windward to maybe get a bit of effect from their breeze is the way to go.
Just about a minute to go to the start of race number 3. Looking at Gladiator, Criolla and Platoon Aviation, airing towards the pin end of the line, airing towards the left end of the line. Interesting, of course, the smart brains, if you like. Vasco Vascotto sailed here dozens of times over the years, and on the Platoon Aviation there, 2 boats up from the pin, and Bruno Zarilli and Guillermo Parada, also big local knowledge as it were. They're airing towards the left hand of the line, and Katie very much in the top third of the line from the boat end. We see no way back, as we very often do. Talk us through this start then, Katie.
Yeah, so actually I quite like what Sled have done, and Gladiator as well. Actually, they've got a nice gap to leeward of them, and I think fully agree with Momo. I feel like it's not so much where you are on the start line, but getting off it clear, and it's going to be all on the T&D. Potentially looks like Teasing Machine were punched a little bit early there for me. But yeah, from where I'm sat, really good starts from these guys at the pin end. You've got Gladiator and Platoon punched out, Criolla a little bit spat out. But yeah, it's much more open start line this race.
Yeah, good start from Gladiator. I think Sled looking quite good as well. Perhaps a little slowed, but nice open lane there for Alkedo. And as Katie said, Criolla just getting spat out. For me, I think the best start with Platoon Aviation, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, they had the space to accelerate. They were, had Criolla under them, but they were bow forward and could just build the speed. I think the boats on the committee end of the line were just bunched up a little more and struggled to get to speed. So you'll see the boats on the pin end, slowly being bow forwards and having the ability to sail fast. But yeah, pretty even line.
Teasing Machine are over the line early, have to go back. Absolutely, as you'd expect, with no way back. They're just starting relatively conservatively, giving themselves the opportunity to build speed. They've got nobody immediately below them, but very much in the middle of the line. Now Gladiator having to tack out from there. They were nice positioning on the line, but just a little bit slow, having to tack out from there. On board briefly with them there, Victor Diaz de Leon, their strategist at the back of the boat. On the final grind on the runner. But looking very good just now for Platoon Aviation, Momo.
Yeah, really managing to stretch their legs, and as you always see, if you have space around you, you can sail to your numbers, and you will be just fully focused on speed. I think they know that being a fast boat in this position is very important, so they'll be sailing a fast mode. And maybe looking at what the other boats are doing, looking whether they'll go over to the right side or not. But yeah, fast is good and speed is king.
It is indeed on board. Maximum concentration there. Müller-Spreer on the helm. Cheese, Dirk de Ridder there, long time main sheet trimmer, America's Cup winner, Ocean Race winner.
I think you can see nicely here that the Traveller is all the way to windward, and you don't have too much main sheet on. You're really looking for both sails to twist open nicely for that speed, and you want them both to match their twist profile.
Just to weather then, Alkedo look a little bit slowed, maybe trying to get too much height.
Well, with the speed that Platoon is managing, then also comes the ability to point up. So they'll definitely be seeing them in the back behind the jib and wanting to come up themselves, which obviously puts you under pressure. Maybe a little bit of a tricky spot for Sled there below. Platoon coming up and Alkedo above them.
A little bit in the meat in the sandwich, as it were, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
But in the meantime, no way back. Actually, they've quite a nice lane there. They got a little bit of breathing space, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think good position. I think Platoon will come up more and more and more.
And try to attack back.
Yeah. Did it look like No Way Back was going? I think they were going for attack. Or
maybe we'll just see that in a few seconds. But out on that right side, Trinity, Provezza, Vudu, Alpha Plus, teasing machine had to restart. Actually, Paprec looked quite nice, Katie.
Yeah, Paprec looking quite nice in the middle for sure. I think they got a good start, were able to kind of tack out where they wanted to, and I think as you guys were saying earlier, it's all about kind of getting a bit free and being able to sail your own numbers and make the most of the breeze. I think flat water, you don't want to be sailing under your kind of numbers at all because it's so costly. But yeah, for me, Paprec and Platoon both looking really nice. I think Platoon have picked a really good spot to tack back, just kind of covering the fleet below them.
And Paprec have a nice open lane there, Momo, don't they?
Yeah, no, they've managed well to get out of the pack. I think in a fleet of 15 boats, it's not only important to go to the right spot, but also to see what the other boats are doing. And as Katie said, Platoon to tack back there was a good move, just to also cover the fleet and not let anyone capitalize on anything that you might not get yourself.
Indeed, but exactly that then for Paprec. Nice open lane, sailing to their numbers. Great shot. The fleet is actually quite spread out now, Momo, isn't it? Even if it's just early in the first beat.
Yeah, I mean it goes quickly. It's quite a long upwind. It's difficult to judge again from the commentary box, but I think that right side has a bit of a left shift, and I think they're doing quite nicely. But it'll be interesting to see when the boats that went to the left converge back with the boats on the right.
But very nice light wind conditions, flat water, a little bit of haze. It's going to be a day for concentration, really, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's you're trying to get as much speed as possible, have nice round sail shape, maximum power. These boats are very powerful. I mean, we've got 6 to 7 knots of wind, but they're all fully hiking.
Fully hiked, aren't they?
Yeah, which is always quite interesting to see. But yeah, I think the older boats with slimmer hulls will be quite fast in these conditions, especially on the downwind as well.
Just seeing Value are a little bit deep then. We're talking about them.
Yeah.
Trying to be consistent, whether that's the curse of the commentator as ever. But it's kind of going a little bit the same as they did in Puerto Portals after leading in the first day.
I think it seemed that they were on the line when the gun went, but they were on the right side of the line, and it'll chase you for a while, not being able to get to your target speeds and being slow off the line, and recovering from that is always a bit costly, whilst other boats will be moving at full speed and gaining on you for a while.
But anyway, max concentration there, Dylan Whitcraft. There's Manu Viola, the tactician, standing up, just assessing how things are looking.
Yes, he'll definitely be calm as ever and looking for every opportunity he can get. Don is a very good helmsman, a very intuitive, but you see him full concentration, looking at the numbers, very slight adjustments. With the rudder, you're always looking to pull the rudder towards you a bit, to have that rudder angle which creates lift and creates better upwind performance. But yeah, I think seeing Manu call for a penalty there.
To the umpires will be on the spot, of course, but there's no, we can't see whether that's, it really seemed to be okay in my view.
Yeah, it's obviously easier to judge from the boat, but I mean, you might as well try and call the penalty there and see if you can
see if it sticks.
gain a place.
But Trinity Racing looked like they're going well, and they got out to the right early with the blue camber stripes.
Yeah, clear air is very important here, and they managed to do that. We've got the two boats coming together, No Way Back and Platoon, the old rivals, and clever move of Vasco to tack here. I think risking a penalty, even if they think they could cross, would be very dangerous in this race. And
they've learned that to their cost, and they make No Way Back tack back.
yeah,
But I mean, it was amazing because a few minutes ago there was clear separation between them. I think No Way Back are a little bit quicker in these conditions. Do you think?
Yeah, and maybe the left side had a little less pressure. Could be.
Certainly, the right seems to be coming in a little bit stronger, Katie.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm out on the left-hand side of the racecourse, and just looking around, there is a little bit it's a bit holier over here than it looks over on that right-hand side. I also think what Trinity have done really nicely is they've just kind of kept it really simple and gone out to a corner. I think what is really costly in such a big fleet of 15 boats is kind of ping-ponging about and having to do heaps of tacks, and when you're in all of the other boats, I think that's super costly, and I think actually Trinity just going out to an edge, keeping their speed, I think that's a really sensible move by them. And just speaking to why Vayu, I think, is so far down the fleet at the moment, just looking at the tracking earlier, they looked like they'd done a little loop on their tracking, so I think they might have had a penalty, which probably makes their penalty that they tried to call the other day even more painful, or the other tack a minute ago, even more painful where they didn't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, on this side of the course, the left side of the course, Platoon versus No Way Back once again on the first beat. That right side coming in stronger all the time. Alpha Plus then is our provisional leader on this first upwind, race number 3 here at the Rolex TP52 World Championship. Alpha Plus then, of course, steered by Nick Egnock Johnson, with Edo Stead calling tactics, Ian Moore, navigator, on board with them momentarily. Did not have the best of opening days, really, down in 14th, 2/12ths yesterday, but they've got themselves off the line again. A boat that goes well in these lighter conditions, Momo.
Yeah, and I think after a day like yesterday, we've said it a lot of times before, but it's important to reset and to see it as a whole new day, and with so many opportunities. And I think it's really important just not to let yourself be affected by the day before. There's nothing you can change, and just going into the new day with motivation, and they seem to have done that, and going nicely here.
Going nicely, nice setup, just the breeze building a little bit. They've actually got quite a nice open lane for the moment. Vudu, this new Italian team, Mauro Gestre, first time in the 52 Super Series, lying 4th at the moment, and here we go, Platoon and No Way Back, attracted like as if by magnetism. Vasco just wondering, they didn't cross last time, they're going to have to tack again, I think.
Well,
it's a little bit closer, I think.
The problem with these infights is that every loss for these two boats is a gain for the other boats, and with such a big fleet, that really hurts you, having to do so many maneuvers in these wind conditions. So them bouncing each other back out is may help No Way Back a little bit, but regarding the fleet, it's
but they're 9th
not
and
helpful.
10th at the moment. As you say, they're not doing each other any favours. And it really, it's kind of saps your mental powers, doesn't it? It draws your energies into a private battle when you really need to be looking big picture.
And tough for Platoon. I mean, it's become evident that the right was strong, and they keep on being bounced out to the left, so struggling to get out to that strong side. Tough position to be in after such a good start.
But it's good to see some of the teams which had a bad day yesterday rallying today, coming in strong. Paprick nice and consistent so far. Trinity, I say they were way down yesterday. I think second or third to last, weren't they, after the first day? They were 13th, the 10th and the 13th yesterday. On board with Cabaya Loco then, alongside Teasing Machine, this new Brazilian team. They have bundles of energy and really loving their life on the 52 Super Series. Their first regatta was last month in Puerto Portals, converging with Gladiator on starboard. Gladiator, I think, will cross or tack inside, Momo.
Yeah, you can see them pushing quite a high mode there because Gladiator will probably tack ahead on ley line. So pushing a high mode in this moment to try and keep your lane is quite important. Yeah, you see Gladiator tacking there and then going even higher to stay out of the dirty air because it's still a long way to the mark, and sailing all that way in dirty air from the boat ahead is painful.
Looking very much like Alpha Plus will get round this first mark with the lead. Katie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends whether they make this mark or how they come into this port lay. I think this port lay line is going to be pretty stacked again, so it's how they manage that entry into the port lay. It looks like they're going to leave it quite late to come in. But yeah, if they can kind of nip ahead of Paprec and to get attack in front, then they'll be looking good. But for me, yeah, Paprec's on the ley line. It's just whether Alpha Plus can get in front of them.
I think Trinity have also, it looks like they've hit that ley line perfectly, and Alpha Plus might have to attack back to get to lay, but Trinity going very fast and have hit it pretty perfectly from quite a way out.
But very much Ed Baird's standard tactics as best he can with the Trinity team, just giving the opportunity for the owner driver to steer or sail the numbers, try and get out into an open lane and not get too involved with the traffic. So, but as Katie said, it's going to be interesting to watch how Alpha Plus get in from the coming in from the left, looking upwind. But I think they're sufficiently far ahead at the moment of Paprec moment, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we'll see in a second. They're just tacking back onto the ley line. But even if it does get tight with Paprec and Trinity, I think it's clever to accept that they're ahead and go behind. Often ducking a boat is not a huge loss. So ducking sometimes might even be better than tacking underneath and then having to pinch to make the top mark. But I think we'll see when they converge.
Anyway, Alpha Plus, Sean and Tina Kang's boat having to just tuck in behind the French on Paprec. Really nice upwind from the French team. Lots of positive vibes from the French team. With their World Cup team winning 2-0 last night. Saw all their French teams out watching the football last night. Don't seem to be too rusty for that, Momo.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they seemed like they hit the ley line well, managed to kind of go into a bit of a high mode before the top mark, but hit it perfectly. Alpha Plus struggling a little for speed around the mark, tacking in the bad air of Paprec, and now being rolled over by Trinity. But yeah, top three, very strong for the first mark.
Indeed. Trinity actually come round quite nicely, but Alpha Plus quite slow, Katie, aren't they?
Yeah, it was actually a really nice move by Trinity on that ley line. They saw that Alpha Plus was ducking Paprec, and Trinity just absolutely put the bow down and aimed at them to try and force them to tack a bit earlier. And that obviously meant that they got a bit more speed as well with that, and it meant that they were then able to roll Alpha Plus around that windward mark. So that was a really, really nice attacking move by Trinity there on that upwind.
I think another thing that's very important is also trim of the sails on the spreader leg. It's quite an important leg, and you could see very well with Alpha Plus, they just had their jib a bit too tight, which really gives Trinity the ability to roll over. You just have to be very careful to not be too strapped on the sails on this leg.
It's very hard, or as you say, it's very easy to be too strapped because there's so much going on in settling or anticipating the hoist. And
absolutely, and you're normally going from a jib sheet to an outboard sheet, and if that's not set up perfectly, then you're sailing for quite a bit with a suboptimal sail setup. And yeah, you have to get ready for the hoist, but you really cannot forget the spreader leg.
On board briefly with Andrea Lacorte on Alkedo. Alkedo quite deep then, 10th for the moment. Sled presumably then 9th, and no way back in the end, coming round in 11th. And Platoon Aviation actually have got away from them, put some boats between them and no way back. Matteo De Luca then on the bow, a jibe set really for Alkedo. Quite crisp in the end. And in the meantime, no way back, going for a straight hoist. They're hoisted before the mark and fully powered up, Momo.
Yeah, I think, you can see in this fleet the boat handling is superb. Nice jibe set there for Aikido. It's important to have a pretty slow turn whilst you're doing a jibe set, really give the kite the chance to get up and set basically before the mainsail comes around. And they did that nicely, but also, no way back with a textbook set. You really have the power on these boats to get the kite up quickly, and that's exactly what they did.
In terms of our top 5, top 6 just now then, good to see Trinity Racing rallying after the not such a good opening day yesterday. So they're in third. Allegra then, John Kostecki starting to work some kind of magic, perhaps, on Allegra up in fourth. Vudu, who are brand new, their second day ever in the 52 Super Series, coming away in fifth at the moment. So and Provezza, who really had a little bit of an off day, now up in sixth. So lots of different faces in the top 6, top 7 today, Momo.
Yeah, and it's interesting that a lot of the teams have elected to go to the different side of what was the better side on the upwind. You have the top 3 teams coming around the mark, all in different positions on this downwind. So it'll be very interesting to see where they all come out. But right now it's looking like nice gains for Alpha Plus to not jibe directly and to go straight for a bit.
Katie, how do you like this this downwind? It seems quite even for the moment.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that the fleet is actually so split, especially when, we kind of saw gains on the right-hand side. But then again, looking at the top, at one point, this far left-hand side upwind was looking pretty bad for teams like Vayu, for example, but they actually managed to get quite a few wave places back. So I think it's not quite as cut and dry as just like one side is good. I think for me, I quite like what Paprak and Alpha Plus have done with the slight hold out and then the jibe back across. The jibe set can be a bit costly because you're jibing through the fleet and you're kind of giving away a bit of speed, which can be pretty costly. But then, I do think this right-hand side downwind might have slightly less breeze. So I think these teams that are going really far out to this side, the right-hand side downwind, we'll have to see whether they kind of manage to stay in the breeze. But for me, Alpha Plus, Paprak, I think they're looking pretty good.
They are indeed. And there we see Vudu, our new team. The 2015 Azura, that boat was in Australia before, as a hooligan, and Patrice was brought over here. But I presumably a boat which should go quite nicely in this light breeze, Momo.
Yeah, also very nice jibe on their end. In these conditions, you're inside jibing, which just means you have to really get that clue through the forestay and the luff of the kite. This makes it quite important to get your timing right in an inside jibe and cutting at exactly the perfect moment. Quite earlier than an outside jibe, just to get it filled before the boom comes across the boat. But all the boats should be fast in these conditions. Upwind, maybe less, but downwind, the wetted surface area definitely plays a role.
So that's our projected standings at coming up for halfway through race number 3. Sled would still be leading, but just by 2 points over Platoon Aviation. Now then, and no way back, still in third. Paprec would move up to fourth, but there's a lot of racing still to go today, and indeed in this race, Momo.
Yeah, no, absolutely long race. Again, nice jibe on Platoon. You could really see the grinders pushing. I think in these conditions you'll often elect to maybe even have a few less grinders on the handle, because line speed is not a problem. It's more about the timing of how to get the kite around, and that this is where the driver has a huge role in a good jibe, because he's watching the kite and adjusting the rate of turn for how quickly the kite gets around the front of the boat.
And by all accounts, Harm is one of the best owner drivers in the fleet, and a double winner of the Dragon Gold Cup, and of course 3 times world champion. And I don't think certainly all the pro sailors who sail with him are not being sycophantic in any way. They say Harm is an extremely talented driver as good as any pro.
Yeah, I mean, if you've done these maneuvers thousands of times, that it does pay, and you can definitely see that.
And there we go, Paprec, nice jibe from them. I'm always keen to promote the skills of Cedric Chateau, the helm on board the Paprec match racing champion. Just took one of the Transat Jacques Vabre, Transat Café L'Or last year, double-handed race across the Atlantic with Guillaume Piruel, and an offshore champion, and indeed vice world champion last year, and they seem to be going quite well. New sails and new graphics this year, but going well. They've extended their lead over Alpha Plus so far, haven't they?
Yes, I think those a wise decision to stay in the middle of the course. I think also important to remember on these days is to watch out for the oscillations in the breeze, and maybe not to just get fixated on your side, but to take the lifts and the headers and place the maneuvers at the right point.
Interesting. A little bit of a gain to Allegra then, Katie. We're seeing Allegra up to third.
Yeah, I really like the middle of this course, to be honest. I think they've done a really nice job of they've got a slightly clearer breeze potentially from the boats around them because there's less boats, and also I think they're able a bit more to kind of, as Momo was saying, picking the points to jibe and the oscillations with the breeze and really making their own way down. They haven't committed fully to a side. I think that's worked out quite well for them. I think just looking a little bit at the speeds of the boats on either side, it looked to me like Trinity and Provezza had a slight speed edge on Platoon and No Way Back for a little bit of that downwind. So we'll see whether that's just pressure differences each side and how that actually translates to where they go around the lewards.
Yes, that's a little battle to watch out. Just great to see Loic Perron just watching the drone, arms crossed. He's super relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, his team doing a nice job.
It's funny how you talk to the sailors now. They're very, very aware of the drones and the different drones that we've got flying above them, and it's no distraction. It's just become part of Grand Prix yacht racing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you do have to watch out for them. So a few weeks ago, a drone flew straight into our mainsail and dropped about a meter to the left of me. So yeah. Have to watch out for them a little bit, but
anyway, we're just watching then. Loic there with his arms crossed, Cedric steering, Stefan Neve, the main sheet trimmer who runs all the Paprec programs.
I think what you can see nicely here is the crew working together to squash every little kind of increase in pressure. You're constantly playing with the crew weight and trying to get them to come to windward in the correct moment, and then pushing the nose down of the boat to gain a bit of depth.
That's it. We can see 5 guys in the towards the bow there.
Yeah, and really important to move together. It's not going to be of use if each person moves individually, so having one person making the calls at the front when the whole crew should move is crucial. And it was on Vayu, they made quite a clear call, you're all sailors, so you can judge this yourself a bit. You don't need to be told every single thing to do. So feel the boat, trust your instinct, and yeah.
And if somebody goes, you all go.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than going yourself, is there?
Yeah, there should be one clear leader.
But Paprec sailing really nicely. They've doubled their lead on that jibe. Loic Perron calling the breeze very, very nicely.
Yeah, in these conditions, a jibe does take a while. You're trying to get the kite around, then you're waiting for it to fill, then you're easing the kite, and then all the crew comes up to squash. So it's quite a long maneuver, and it's really important not to be too hasty and try to do anything too early, because you just won't get the benefit of having the crew move together.
That's runner trimmer there, it's Jérôme Naquet. But that blue kite of Paprec clearly ahead. You can see Trinity there with the black kite in between Alpha Plus and Allegra there coming down nicely. A little bit less pressure out in that right side looking downwind. Katie, how's your interpretation of this leeward gate? The right hand mark looking upwind certainly seems to be a little bit of bias on it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I think they've changed the bearing of the windward mark. They've moved it 10 degrees right from that first upwind, so I think the wind might have gone a little bit right, which probably has put some bias on that mark. I think Paprec making a good call to go to that right-hand mark. They do have to sail through the fleet, which I think will be quite slow, but good call from them, I think.
Alpha Plus going to the left-hand mark, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a split going on, and you'll have heads on a swivel on Paprec there. But yeah, you have Trinity following around with them. So yeah, it's difficult to call. But yeah, as Katie says, the having the dirty air of the boats coming down does hurt you for quite a while. And Alpha Plus being able to sail into free air might be a little gain for them.
But good to see Allegra there up in fourth, I think, just behind Trinity. Then Provezza coming in.
Yeah, Provezza doing a late jibe.
Interesting.
Difficult here.
They're going to lose Platoon maybe inside. So what's going on with the Provezza then?
I think maybe they couldn't have found a way around the right mark, so they elected to with a late jibe. Yeah. But if your crew is set for one maneuver, putting in a late jibe can be quite painful. But they've just about managed it, going around the mark now. But you saw that the jib was around the forestay, and that puts you at danger of breaking the jib battens, which can be a race ender for sure.
Indeed. Then coming down through the leeward gate on that left-hand mark, Peter Harima steering no way back. Alkedo Vitamina just on their stern. Gladiator going round now. Alkedo Vitamina just a little bit slowed there, Momo, just trying to get the bow up and trying to stay above the line of no way back.
Yeah, maneuvers and mark roundings in these conditions are pretty difficult. And being conservative on your sail trim and letting the sails breathe is really important. You're obviously trying to point
keeping the flow over the foils, isn't it?
You're obviously trying to point high after the mark to not get into the bad air of the boat ahead of you, but not trimming on the sails too hard is quite important.
And Sled then, regatta leaders in 8th. It's been a little bit tricky for them. Katie just didn't get the start they wanted, a little bit sandwich at the start, weren't they?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the difference between being on the line and slow and being on the line and fast. I think unfortunately for them, the boats around them were on the line and fast, and you're not going to see that loss until sort of a minute, 2 minutes into the race, when you're suddenly in a terrible lane and you're kind of like, how has this happened? But yeah, I think once in this big fleet, I think once you get into the middle of the fleet, it becomes a lot more like dinghy racing, and it's a whole different skill set in itself to be able to sail yourself out of the middle of the fleet. And I think for a lot of these teams, that's probably something that's kind of new to them with a 15-boat fleet. I think it'll be interesting to see how much it changes the game of sailing in the middle of the fleet and how much it changes the tactics.
Indeed, just watching all the time, Trinity, Momo, just how Ed Baird just tries to keep it super simple, doesn't get engaged, and just leaves Joachim Sundberg, this new owner-driver, to sail the numbers. Apparently his focus, his concentration is second to none.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, keeping it simple can be very effective. Not overcomplicating it, not getting into any infights, finding clear air is very strong in conditions like these. And as Katie says, being ahead, not having to look at necessarily what the other boats are doing and playing the shifts can be quite strong. The danger of being in the middle of the fleet or towards the back of the fleet is that other boats force you to go into a certain position, and then you won't be able to take the oscillations of the breeze with you. So yeah, being ahead, it's normally a game of the rich get richer in these conditions.
That was working for Paprec, but Alpha Plus have pulled back a few metres since the leeward mark. Wonder whether they're getting a little bit more pressure on that being to the left of Paprec. What do you think?
Well, yeah, most of the boats have again elected to go for the right side of the speed. I think they've all got clear air, the leading boats, and at this point it'll be quite difficult to find the big gains. But in the middle of the fleet, gaining that one little position might be quite effective.
So looking at No Way Back, lying third after the first two races. Peter Harima's team are 10th just now. They need to take a couple of boats. Terry Hutchison's maxim is always top 4, top 5 if in every race will win your regatta. At the moment they've got a little bit of work to do. And it's all about averages, Momo. It's not about individual race results.
Yeah, and talking to Michele Valdi, they definitely know this. And sailing solid and sailing kind of not too aggressive can work quite well. And Michele is definitely a person that embodies that quiet, calm, and collected. And it's good for Terry to have him by his side.
Indeed. Perhaps not a day for percentage sailing, though, Katie, by the looks of things.
Yeah, potentially not. I think it's a day for getting yourself clear and just trying to race your own race. I think as you said, Alpha Plus has made a gain on Paprec, and I'm wondering if that's potentially come from that split at the leeward mark.
Yeah.
Alpha Plus didn't have to sail through the dirt of the rest of the fleet, and actually the more time you can spend at your numbers in this, like today, I think that'll gain you boat lengths, and I do think it is kind of boat lengths racing, it is speed racing. Paprec just tacking back now, so we'll see where they end up, but looking at numbers, they were about half a knot faster than Alpha Plus going across on this port leg, but they were in a lower mode. So yeah, two different modes there, higher a bit slower, lower a little bit faster, so this, when they're coming together, I think it could be quite tight, and I think it's definitely one to watch.
I think it's going to be one to watch all the way to the finish line. Certainly, Alpha Plus have closed down Paprec, and to me, probably just a little bit ahead there, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, as Katie said, moding is very, very important, and talking in your trim loop between the jib trimmer, the main trimmer, the runner trimmer, and the helmsman. Is essential. So you all need to be on the same page. What mode are you doing? Who's making the big changes? Who's making the small changes?
So who's calling that mode?
Well, often it's the trimmers calling that mode, or the tactician says where to go and whether you're necessarily doing a high mode. But if you're trying to go all out speed, the trimmers make the call, and it's actually not the driver saying too much at all. Because as a driver on these boats, you're at the whim of your trimmers. You can only do what they trim for, and you cannot do what your sail setup is not set up to do.
So Paprec, I think, just will roll over the top of Alpha Plus. They've got boat speed, and in fact Alpha Plus a little bit slowed.
Yeah, I mean, difficult place to tack. Paprec was bow forward. It's always the question: do you just take the hit and go around the back and not have too much loss? Ooh, traveler coming off there. That's pretty painful.
I'm still off. It took them a couple of seconds to readjust it, but interesting. That cost them a few meters.
And you always have these situations where something, I don't know, goes out of the cleat or something like that happens, and then you'll have the driver looking around, and it'll take a few minutes to get back into the groove again. And only when you're in the groove are you actually fast, and when everyone's working together and not against each other, especially in the trim.
So Nick Egnott Johnson, the youngest helmsman in the fleet, I think. Extremely talented match racer, been with the team now for a couple of years. I think he's just passed his driving test, I saw.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we've noticed on Red Bandit, these boats are intuitive boats to sail, especially with a tiller. Yeah. So being young and having lots of dinghy experience actually, is a very good way of learning to sail these boats.
Certainly came up through the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron match racing programme, and he's definitely an asset, not just to Alpha Plus but to the circuit. And as I said, Cedric Chateau, helmsman on Paprec, a match racing champion in his own right in France. So that could develop, you never know. All to the good for Allegra versus Trinity behind. It's great to see John Costecchi back in the fleet, a sailor who goes way back in the 52s, back to the I think 2008 he first was racing on Caixa Galicia in the very early days, but sailed with various different boats, not least Platoon Aviation, or Platoon previously won the Worlds in 2017 and again in 2019 with Platoon. And he did a little bit with the young American Magic team. Unfortunately had an eye problem and had to stand down for a few regattas there, leaving the team to their own devices, but it was great learning experience for the young American Magic sailors.
I think what's interesting to see on Platoon there is that some boats have chosen to let the jib trimmer trim from windward, and some boats, have used the leeward winch to trim the jib. It has pros and cons. I mean, trimming the jib from windward means that there's a person sitting with his legs in, not hiking over the side of the boat, but he's obviously able to trim quicker and to kind of match the adjustments of the main trimmer. Whereas when you have the jib sheet on the leeward winch, you'd trim less, but the jib trimmer is on the rail hiking as hard as everyone else. So it's interesting to see that boats do this differently, and that there are differences in how to sail these boats.
Indeed, then this little match race between the Paprec and Alpha Plus, Katie, it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm watching it. Got a front row seat. Paprec, really good job there, just kind of taking Alpha Plus right to the ley line of that protector mark, meaning that there's no way of them getting inside them. I actually am wondering, as Momo was saying earlier, I think that duck for Alpha Plus could have been super powerful. If it is a close duck, even though it feels like you're behind, if the other boat's still got more manoeuvres to do, then those manoeuvres are going to be a loss. So actually you could end up in front, and I think potentially them tacking underneath Paprec where they did, it just opened themselves up to be pinned out past this protector mark as Paprec did. So really potentially a missed opportunity from Alpha Plus, but really well sailed by Paprec to kind of re-extend their lead.
I mean, to add on what Katie said, a duck, you may lose a bit of height doing it, but what you lose in height, you gain in speed. So it's almost never a loss.
But I'm sure both teams will be happy if they can get through the first and the second. Paprec then leading, Alpha Plus second, Trinity racing in third, and in actual fact they're pretty clear of the next boat, aren't they, Momo?
Yeah, they've managed to stretch their legs, as we were kind of seeing. If you're ahead, the rich get richer, you get to play the shifts, you get to sail fast mode, and yeah, pretty nice set here from Paprec. You saw a slight twist in the kite, but it came out quickly. You'll always have this risk on the second upwind, because one person has gone down to pack the kite, and it's not so easy to always do that whilst the boat is sailing upwind. So clearing the kite becomes pretty essential.
So about 30 seconds difference between Trinity Racing and Allegra. Alpha Plus, loads of experience on board. Rod Dawson, main trimmer. Again, a sailor who's been with the TP52s for many, many years. Zach Hurst, trimmer. Alex Goff is the other trimmer.
Here we see the continuous battle of no way back and Platoon, Vasco being quite convinced that there's a penalty to be given, but the jury seeing it differently.
The umpires are just right there under Our umpire team are always on the spot, and it's worth staying close to Vasco.
Especially when no way back's around.
Yeah, it's always fireworks. On board with Alkedo. Just a little bit slowed, being rolled by Gladiator. Vudu just ahead of them. And the Gladiator then, Victor Diaz de Leon, just checking to see what's happening behind. Gladiator a little bit deep, Katie, for your liking.
Unfortunately, yes. But I think, yeah, hopefully they can pull something out on this downwind. They were talking a lot in the debrief yesterday about kind of tactics around marks and tactics around, because I think a couple of times yesterday they made a couple of losses on some marks just with positioning stuff. So hopefully on this downwind they'll be talking more about that, and they'll be actually able to kind of pick a couple of boats off, because I think every single point that you can pick off is super important, not just for the event but for the season. And if you can turn a 10th into a 9th, 10th into an 8th, then yeah, that's could make all the difference.
But another great race, super close all the way through the fleet. Points and places to be gained right to the end, Momo.
Yeah, interesting to see all the boats elect to go to one side, nobody trying anything different. Yeah, what you can see well here is Vudu and Gladiator getting into a bit of a fight, and as we'll see many times, that fighting one other boat will mean losses for you against the whole fleet, especially in a fleet of 15 boats. So yeah, always difficult to not get caught up in these, especially on the downwind when you're the furthest boat ahead, trying not to get run over by boats behind you.
So Sled a little bit deep in this race at the moment. Well, 6th for the moment. They've certainly recovered nicely, but they would still be have a 3-point lead ahead of a no way back. Paprec up to 3rd on 18. 18 as well for Value. Platoon Aviation also on 18 for super close. Alkedo Vitamina 11th at the moment in this race, but 6th overall. Allegra moving up the leaderboard, but it's very close all the way through. Paprec then the French team, new kite for them this year. They've got quite a lot of new sales this year. Big investment for Jean-Luc Petit-Huguenin, but it's certainly justified. Finished 9th in Puerto Portals. But actually, for those of you who remember, finished with a race win.
Yeah, you can see nicely here, Alpha Plus was just waiting for Paprec to jibe, and Paprec probably knew that. And good gain for Alpha Plus here to have such a good jibe in a moment like this. And I think, yeah, this
not
might
quite
be
as good for Paprec, was it? It was
No.
almost like they were caught unawares, and the problem there is they lose engage. They're just having to rise up and defend against Alpha Plus.
Yeah, and maybe just a little bit of pressure looking behind, and then that jibe is going to have to stick, and Alpha Plus can just sit there and wait and react to Paprec, which is, I guess, a nice position to be in.
And I don't think Trinity Racing have said they're lost.
No, that pack is staying together closely.
Katie, so Paprec under pressure from Alpha Plus.
Yeah, very much so. And actually, yeah, that jibe was potentially pretty costly. But now just looking at Paprec, it looks like they're trying to sail up a tiny bit into Alpha Plus's line, just so that they can kind of stay with the advantage and stay with the control. Just protect it for when they jibe back. So I think really nice recovery from them. I think on the starboard, and I think potentially we might see this on the port as well, but just watching the tracking lines, this is incredibly nerdy, but you can really see, like what Momo was saying earlier, with the kinetics of the boat and really squeezing. If you watch Paprec's tracking, you can see this ever so slight little kind of curve in their tracking line, as opposed to Alpha Plus, whose was a lot more straight, and it's almost, you can kind of just see them really trying to maximize every little bit of depth and then bring the boat back up, heat it up, and you can really kind of see how those movements translate onto the race course and onto the straight line speed. If you look at the tracking lines, it's pretty cool. and nerdy.
That's what we employ you for, Katie. I think we've got another nerd in the studio as well, so you're both talking the same language, Katie, which is wonderful. But
Oh yeah, that's probably why we get on so well.
but Trinity poised there, they're coming down nicely with speed. Newest boat in the fleet versus one of the older ones, certainly an Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus was the original Prada boat, one of the original, or the original one and only Luna Rossa 52, still carries the red trademark, if you like, Momo.
Yeah, definitely a recognizable trademark. You can still see the Prada there. But yeah, for a team like this to get a boat that has already been sailed very successfully is pretty important. And I said it yesterday, and I'll probably say it again. But numbers are very, very important, and having a team that has produced good data to work with ahead before you on the same boat can make the learning process so much quicker.
I think it varies from team to team and boat to boat, or what you actually buy in terms of numbers and data.
Yes. But if you have, if you build a new boat,
of course,
you will always have that time that you're spending trying to develop numbers and even just get some numbers to work with. Well,
you were talking to Mickey Müller this morning, weren't you, about the growing pains, shall we say, for the Platoon Aviation. They're certainly the quickest they've ever been now, but I think they've had 4 keels, isn't that right?
Yeah, I think the boats have gone so to the edge of this box rule that building a new boat isn't actually kind of a recipe to win. And you saw that with Platoon and Allegre, that they built the new boats, and Trinity as well, out of the same hull shape. And
I think, to be fair, Trinity has come out of the box quicker and better sorted, but that is with the learning of the Allegre and the Platoon boat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with Platoon being on keel fin number 4, it does show you that they're not very willing to kind of try out, and very quick to try out new things, and you have to realize when something's not working and try a new thing. And Trinity, being a year later with the same design, they've probably been able to capitalize on all the learnings that Allegre and Platoon have made over the last year.
Anyway, I think that doubles the credit, I suppose, in some ways to Alpha Plus. But loads of talent on board. Both Ian Moore, Navigator, and Edo Stead have won the world title before. In fact, Edo's won it with RAN Racing and indeed with Quantum before. One of the most, how should you put it, travelled sailors in the fleet. Sailed with many different programs over the years, and that brings a huge amount of experience.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just a lovely guy.
Indeed,
nice.
He is one of the. I've said this a few times. He's one of the most digital tacticians in the fleet. He sails on numbers, and he can still remember numbers from races of years gone by. Now then, final jibe, I think, Katie, for Spirit of Malouin, the 11th, which is of course Paprec.
Very nice jibe. They really did a slow turn in, gave the trimmers lots of time to rotate the kite.
There you see the dynamics, eh?
Yeah, and the kite set immediately on the new side. I think that was a very strong jibe, and a good moment to put in a good jibe.
Handshake before the finish line, but great race win then for the French team. Allez les Bleus. Paprec are winning their first race here in the Costa Smeralda. It's great to just reflect on their history over the years. They were one of the first teams ever to join the 52 Super Series. I think we had 4 original teams, and then they joined. So they've been at it a long time, but really stepped up since Loic Perron joined the programme. And a well-deserved race win. Loic there just standing, looking round. The owner at the very back of the boat. Yes, he's super happy. No Kiwi mood or mindset there, is there?
Oh, it's good to see that.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, I say the Kiwis, you never smile. You know, you're just all about even temperament. And the French, we always hearten
big emotions.
Alpha Plus coming through for second, Trinity Racing coming through first. We always hark back to the wonderful day back in Miami, I think it was, or Key West, when they won their first race. And Jean-Luc was talking about a container of champagne. I need to buy a container of champagne. But here's hoping that they get a regatta win this season. It's highly possible. Very nearly won the Worlds. Anyway, Paprec win race 3. Alpha Plus gets second. Trinity Racing get through in third. And I think we'll see Allegra through in first. But a good win for Paprec. I mean, will that Alpha Plus be regretting their small errors, Momo?
Well, I think...
or do you just look big picture?
Yeah, I think you look big picture, especially not now. You know, there's a race to come.
Yeah.
We always say that any mistakes you'd made in the day are for the debrief and not for the out on the water. Out on the water, you try to do like you've done it before and not try to put in any big changes. The debrief is always a good situation to look at what you've done wrong and
Super
to change
close here
something.
between Sled and No Way Back. I think Sled will just get there. Alpha No Way Back coming down with pace, but Sled will just take that on the line. Provezza get 5th. Solid result for them. If they came away with 2 5ths today, they'd be happy. Then Sled are through for 7th. Then it's super close. Platoon, Alkedo and Gladiator all close together. But 7th for Sled. Gladiator get 8th. Alkedo 9th, and Platoon Aviation dropped to 10th, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a roller coaster, this race course, and maybe getting caught out in a protest at the top mark. It's also not the way to go.
But another great race then. Mauro Gestri, then the new owner driver who's only been racing for 2 years. He was telling us yesterday, grew up in Africa. First big regatta, I think, was with the 52 was last year in Copa del Rey. Vayu coming through now.
Yeah.
And
shame to see Vayu being so far back, but I think in this fleet you can see you get a penalty right at the start. It is very, very difficult to gain any places back.
And I think Teasing Machine got 11th, Vudu 12th, Criolla 13th, Vayu 14th, Caballo Loco coming in 15th, we'll call it. It's the newcomers to the fleet, a reasonably tough baptism of fire in Puerto Portals, but there we go, race 3 finish. Katie, your thoughts on Paprek's win? They was all from the start line, getting out to the right early, as indeed all 3 boats were out in the right early, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that right-hand side seemed pretty powerful. I do think it's a lot more open than yesterday. I do think there's opportunities to kind of...
So just losing Katie there, but she was just saying it's a much more open race course, this one, Momo.
Yeah, I think what she was going to say is that there are, little opportunities to gain there, and maybe taking some shifts with you, and not just playing the right out corners of the racetrack.
Yeah, Katie, your conclusions from that race? You're saying a more open racetrack, opportunities to make small gains, but for sure any little problem, any little mistake is really punished in this fleet, in these conditions in particular.
Yeah, for sure. I think both, a lot of it actually, I think, is positioning mistakes and mistakes around how you manage marks and kind of points where the fleet comes together. I think that's actually where quite a lot of the big gains and losses are going to be made. So I think for me, I think getting clear wind is a priority. That right-hand side is pretty strong, but trying to stay out of the trouble.
It did, but this World Championship and every Regatta 52 Super Series is about consistency. So you really want to be in the top half of this fleet every race, Momo, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. And not having any big results, kind of kicking you in the whole leaderboard. Trying to.
So from that perspective, sixth for Sled is not really what they would want, but it keeps them very much.
Well, not what they want, but
it's a consistent result. It'll keep them on top of the table, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Not to be, hurt by that and not trying any big moves. It's, again, early on in the regatta, winning a race is great, but getting a 15th or, below 10th place can really hurt.
Katie, looking ahead to the next race, do you think it's just more of the same, or do you think there may be some changes on the start line, or what's your view? It seems like a fairly even start line before, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was fairly even, and I think, as kind of Momo was saying before the last start, I actually think, I agree, just it doesn't necessarily matter where you get off the line, it's just you need to be on the line
with pace
at go at full speed. And I think just carrying that and then picking your lanes to kind of get back across the course and picking where you tack, I think that's the priority for the next race.
Indeed, breeze is very similar to the previous race. No significant changes. A little bit of a 10-degree shift, and we had a slight change in the course access moment, didn't we?
Yes. Bit of a shift to the right as predicted, and I think the teams will definitely also be looking at sail setup. You see no way back, just pulling down their main sail, maybe adjusting some batten tension, or even going for a different mainsail.
Anyway, let's have a look at the standings after race 3. First race of the day, Sled still leading. In fact, their lead's extended nicely for them. 3 points ahead, 5-1-6 so far for Takashi Okura's team, 2021 World Champions. No way back up to second on 15 points. Paprec move up to third on 18 points. Platoon Aviation on fourth on 19, 20 and 20 for Alkedo and Vudu, both on the same points tally. Allegra moving up nicely onto 23 points in seventh, tied with Provezza. In ninth, Alpha Plus 26 for Trinity Racing, Teasing Machine 27, 28 for Gladiator, Caballo Loco 31, also the same points as the Brazilian compatriots on Criolla, and Vudu, the newcomers, the debutants in 15th with 41 points. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. We know that we've got a warning signal at 14:15, I think. 15:15, I beg your pardon. Still working in British time. 15:15 for the warning signal. Join us then, and we'll back with all the action here in Porto Cervo.
At Palm Beach Motor Yachts, we build for those who lead. This comes from our history in competitive ocean racing, where advanced technologies and a spirit to win shape our every advantage on the water. We carry those lessons into every motor yacht that we design and build, using efficient and balanced hulls to deliver performance that feels effortless. Paired with meticulous craftsmanship and engineering, it creates a quiet confidence you can sense the moment you take the helm. Palm Beach Motor Yachts, from ocean racing innovation to cruising perfection.
I'm not a joyride, a hit and run. I thought I loved you and you thought I was fun. I'm moving on down the road. Watch me as I go, watch me as I go. Turn both ways before you cross me, baby. 'Cause I don't I'm feeling free with our bodies together as I breathe. I'm lighter than a feather when I'm with you all day, all night. Every moment so good, so good. Got something so sweet, yeah, it's charming. Make me wanna see you more every day. Go down like a tree, night and morning. Maybe you're the one who I want to stay. So tell me if you feel this, baby. My mind is running crazy, 'cause no one has made me feel this way. You do everything perfectly, and I want you to see that I appreciate you. I'm feeling free with our bodies together as I breathe. I'm lighter than a feather when I'm with you all day, all night. Every moment so good, so good. Green light, oh it's true. I've never met nobody who's like you. This time I got so lucky when I'm with you all day, all night. Every moment so good, so good. Green light. You got the green light in your eyes and your smile, yeah, yeah. Know I would spot you from a mile, can't know why, yeah, yeah. I think you're my one and only. I know it 'cause I dream about you. So tell me if you feel this, baby. My mind is running crazy, 'cause no one has made me feel this way. You do everything perfectly, and I want you to see that I appreciate you. I'm feeling free with our bodies together as I breathe. I'm lighter than a feather when I'm with you all day, all night. Every moment so good, so good. Green light, oh it's true. I've never met nobody who's like you. This time I got so lucky when I'm with you all day, all night. Every moment so good, so good. Green light, oh red, oh amber in your body. Only green light, only green light. No red, oh amber in your body. Only green light, only green light.
said that it wasn't personal. And every time you lied to me, it's like I didn't want to see, cause I thought you were beautiful, and beauty doesn't want to be mischievous and devious and set a fire unto us, but you were never beautiful at all. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked all those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. I guess I should thank you for that. I'm okay. But then I see you out again, laughing with the group of friends. There he is, you're holding hands, makes me feel pathetic and a little bit erratic. So I drink till I can't stand, and you know I won't confront you, even though it's all I wanna do. Probably best to just ignore it, both impossible and true. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked all those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. Thank you for that. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. You went from a walk to a crawl, and a 10 on the Berlin Wall. I was panicking, but hey, I guess that I survived you, and that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you. She loves me not the pedals hit the floor. And what you get is what you got when you can't pull no more. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. You went from a walk to a crawl. Every time I pull it wrong, I was panicking, but hey, I guess that I survived you, and that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you. I am unbreakable, I am unstoppable, I am an animal. How can they stop the unbreakable? I am unbreakable, I am unstoppable, I am an animal. How can they stop the unbreakable? I am unstoppable, I am an animal. How can they stop the unbreakable? How can they stop the unbreakable? And I am not breaking. And I am not breaking.
Well, there we go, heading into race number 4 of the regatta, second race of the day. Conditions looking very similar. Nice sparkly waters on the Costa Smeralda. Katie, on the water, it looks stunning.
Yeah, it really is. I think we've actually got a little bit more breeze in this race than we did in the last race. It looks like it's kind of filled in a little bit. The boats were kind of looking a bit more powered up when I was watching them kind of doing their pre-start routines, and the breeze has gone a little bit more right. The bearing on this windward mark is 125 as opposed to 110 on the last lap of the last race. So yeah, it feels like it's kind of really coming in, settling in. Should be a good one.
Should be a good one. What did we learn from that last race then?
I think we kind of learned that speed is king, really. You need to be, get clear of other boats,
Get off the line.
be able to sell your numbers, and get off the line. Yeah, I think it's kind of as simple as that, which is never simple, but when you say it from a rib, it's incredibly simple.
But I mean, you know, object lesson there being Trinity probably.
Yeah, for sure, I reckon.
Yeah, Momo, what's your thoughts? Trinity was, the one boat that you would say got off the line with a good start, got out to the right and just sailed their numbers and didn't really get engaged. Unlike, I suppose, Alpha Plus and Paprec, obviously Paprec winning, Alpha Plus getting second, but they were engaged at different moments through the race.
I mean, yeah, it was nice for them to get out to the right side quite early. I mean, it was a shame to see because Platoon had such a strong start.
Yeah.
But obviously, the problem you have as the boat that starts close to the pin is that you will struggle to find your way over to the right-hand side of the course. So if that side is stronger, you do have to wait until the boats have tacked over so that you can go over. But yeah, strong start from them. But in the end, the right-hand side of the course on the first upwind was better.
So classic Porto Cervo scenery there in the background. Just racing out in the entrance to Bomb Alley, as it were. And as Katie said, I think the breeze is up a knot and a half compared to our first start, and moving right progressively. We started at 100, then 110, now at 125 with just about a minute and a half to go. Where would you be wanting to start on this start line, Momo?
Again, difficult to say on the side. If it is like last time, the right-hand side of the course might be a little favored. So starting towards the right is good, but staying out of the way of other boats and starting with full speed is very important. I think Vayu put it nicely in their debrief yesterday. Starting below 8 knots of wind is difficult, and it does take a long time to get up to speed. So it might not sound like a lot that we have 1 or 2 knots more now, but it definitely improves the boat handling ahead of the start line, and you can see the boats are starting a little further away from the line.
Indeed, starting a little bit further away from the line, and mostly in the right hand half of the line, as it were. But it's going to be a close start, very busy, very congested. Just they're on board quickly with Alkedo. Andrea Lacorta just being instructed where they want to position Alkedo. Trinity Racing electing to start more to the left of the group, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them a nice run up to the line. I'd hope they'd capitalize at least on, if they would have liked to start at the right, they will have the momentum and the speed going over the line, and you see them doing exactly that. Bow forward, you're trying to hit the line exactly when the gun goes at full speed, and they've seemed to manage that quite well.
They have indeed. Looking at it, that gun has gone for the start of race number 4. Good start from Trinity Racing. Ed Baird, the tactician, helping Joachim Sundberg, this new owner-driver. Certainly the boats on that left side getting the better start, just having the time to build speed and hit the gun on the B of bang, as it were. Caballo Loco there, just the old Phoenix. Then Criolla.
Vudu also in a nice position, no boat below, a few boats above, space to do your own thing and space to sail fast.
No way back, a relatively conservative start, probably just didn't get away with the speed they wanted. There's Paprec, the race winner of the previous race, a little bit flat-footed that time, by the looks of things. Alpha Plus seemed to have got away quite nicely this time, Katie.
Yeah, Alpha Plus got away super nicely there. I think, clear off the line and then found themselves a lane to tack back. I think looking super strong for me, and again, no way back as well. I think really strong. I think maybe one to watch is Platoon, who was kind of more to the boat end, and I would say they kind of probably won the boat end start. So we'll see how powerful leading out to that right-hand side is compared to slightly further down the line for Alpha Plus and No Way Back. But yeah, those three I think really did punch out the line.
On board with the Platoon Aviation, nice setup for them at the moment.
I think it does speak to the quality of a team that they can completely change the start strategy. Platoon starting on the left-hand side with speed, and now in the next start they're super comfortable to try and get in the hustle on the boat end of the line. That always speaks for a strong team.
Indeed, they seem to be going quite well. No Way Back, their main adversary in that piece of water just now. No Way Back, potentially the leaders just now. Alpha Plus have got away nicely. Get another top 5, top 6 result for Alpha Plus would really pull them up the leaderboard. And Trinity Racing, same boats as we saw last time. Vudu got away, as Katie said, very nicely in 4th. We have a little bit of work to do for Gladiator, Allegre, Vayu, all clustered, I think, at the boat end of the line not able to impose themselves and get away nicely. But Trinity Racing on this side, Momo, it started on the most lefts of the group.
Yeah, they managed to stretch their legs and sail fast, and I think luckily enough for them, all the boats to the right of them tacked to the right side quite early, so there's not a huge split opening up on the race course, and they've managed to follow the rest of the fleet to the right hand side. So I think that might prove to be quite a good position.
Indeed, watching Sled, our regatta leaders, starting this first upwind in 9th position just now. No way back, second underwater just now on the right-hand side, or within the main right-hand group, as it were. Trinity considered to be the early leaders from the left. But this is going to be an interesting beat, Momo, isn't it? Just looking the way how things are shaping up. Probably Trinity Racing have good pressure going across, but was looking a little bit softer perhaps.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the boats that were behind at the start going to the left-hand side of the course. I think they do have to try something to get ahead. As you can see in this fleet, it's always difficult to get ahead once you're behind. So maybe
what do we think
trying
of Alpha
something
Plus's
different.
position there?
Well, nice. I mean, they can sail fast. They can
The right side,
do their own thing, and they're almost one of the furthest boats on the right-hand side. Let's see how they come out.
We're looking at Trinity Racing, our provisional leaders at the moment. This is race 4, second race of the day. But a good breeze there, Katie, really, isn't there? It's nice, so we can just see the Trinity Racing actually just powering up just a little bit more wind pressure.
Yeah, there's definitely more pressure. Just looking around out the side of the boat, there's a lot less holes over on this side of the race course. I actually think Trinity have done a really nice job being out this way, and even though they did start down more towards the pin, they have tacked back a lot earlier than the fleet did on the last race. So they actually are still kind of towards the right-hand side of the course. They're just one of the more left-hand boats. But looking further down onto that right-hand side, I really like the mode that Alpha Plus is doing. They've really managed to climb their way up to no way back, and they've kind of climbed up off Sled and Platoon as well. And I think they seem to have found a pretty powerful mode down when they are.
You're on board with Alkedo Vitamina. They have work to do. They're in the lower half of the fleet just now.
But you can see the slight increase in pressure reflecting in their trim. Traveller is a bit further down than in the race before, and at this point you've got a bit more pressure, and you can trim the sails a bit harder and make them a bit flatter. Not looking for all-out power in these conditions.
And they're just tacking back to the right while they can. I think Paprec quite deep at the moment, but they're heading for the right. Trying to get to the right. Looking at that group then, Momo, Trinity Racing quite powerful where they are.
Yeah, very powerful position. They had a beautiful spot to tack, and being by far the fastest boat off the line has really proven to be the way to go.
Caballo Loco not too bad at all, though, just to leeward off them.
That's good to see both Brazilian boats in the mix at the front in this race.
But it's been a pretty tough start. The Gladiator got kind of closed out, didn't they, Katie?
Yeah, they did. I think that's the risk of kind of trying to win the boat end and trying to be the most windward boat. I think you really put yourself at risk of being closed out, and I think especially if all the boats are going to be tacking pretty quickly off the line, if you're not kind of first row or maybe second row, then I think you're going to really struggle to find a lane to tack into, and you're going to have to just sail through a lot of dirt to be able to find space without dirty wind, basically.
You're back on board with Platoon Aviation. Just climbing nicely. They're up to 4th, or we're up to 4th. They battled with the Brazilians, really. But Alpha Plus having a good day, Momo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're really fighting at the front, and it's nice to see after having a bit of a difficult first day that you can reset and come into the next day swinging. So good to see them at the front.
Did they have no way back on their windward hip, just a little bit further back?
Yeah, I think it's a nice position to be in for Alpha Plus there, because you can just start by sailing fast. You can start to push the nose up a little bit and pinch in those moments where you've got the pressure.
Yeah.
And it's always difficult in no way back's position to kind of do the same. And it'll put you on the pressure to sail a high mode. But a high mode is often very effective when you don't necessarily have to sail it, but when you can sail it.
You do, when you've got the wind pressure. But it's interesting, that right side, I think, coming a little bit stronger as we get further up the beat, Katie.
But you can see it as well, Alpha Plus pushing a little bit higher.
Sorry, Katie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think similar to the last race, this right-hand side is getting kind of stronger and stronger. And again, building on what Momo said about Alpha Plus's mode, I think, yeah, they've managed to, if you're the leeward boat, then you get the chance to kind of choose when you go high and choose when you go low. And it means that the boat above you is kind of forced to try and match you, and it's not always the right moment for them to be doing those modes. So it's kind of really powerful to be below. And No Way Back's just had to tack out because Alpha Plus has basically just sailed all the way up to their line and just then given them dirt. But yeah, Platoon also now tack back. That right-hand side, we'll see just how powerful it's become when we see Alpha Plus and Trinity especially. I think that would be really interesting to watch, whether Trinity can get kind of bows ahead and get attacking in front of them, or whether they'll have to do the duck that we've not yet seen anyone do like too effectively yet, but we'll see what happens.
So then Alpha Plus just tacking in front of Platoon Aviation, forcing the German flag boat to tack away.
Yeah, and they didn't spend a lot of time in the dirty air there. They elected to tack out straight away. I mean, it's a long time until, still a long way to go until the top mark. So spending all that time in dirty air will be big losses against the rest of the fleet.
Trinity Racing have maintained a clear lane all the time though, haven't they?
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've managed to sail fast, and you see Alpha Plus, gains on No Way Back, but they've lost against the fleet.
I think a little bit of a lefty, perhaps, looking at Trinity. But certainly Trinity imposing themselves. Caballo Loco going nicely as well. Alpha Plus just dropping a little bit. It's a fascinating beat, isn't it? Sled there just in our right of our picture. They're down in 11th place just now. Really, things not going their way for the moment.
Yeah, being in the middle of this fleet is always difficult. Not being able to pick exactly the moments where you would like to tack because of the boats around you. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of skill to fight your way out of there.
Just on board with Caballo Loco, Edo Stead there, just evaluating their options, what they want to do. Of Alpha Plus. So Trinity Racing actually, I think, with quite a comfortable lead as we head towards this first top mark. Trinity, this brand new Swedish team, won the second race of the season, I think, in Puerto Portals, and then had a horrific situation immediately after. They had a problem with their main halyard and then had to sit out in the immediately next race. So, however, loads of talent on board, not just Ed Baird, but Roscoe Halcrow is the principal trimmer on board.
Yeah, I mean, for a team like Trinity, it's very, very good to get people in that have sailed on these boats and to, speed up the learning process. Not just new faces on the boat, but also just get some guys that have spent years on TP52s to show you how it's done and to help coach you.
Indeed. Anyway, Alpha Plus rallying just now, come back out to the right. So it's, I think it's going to be between Trinity and Alpha Plus. But Alpha Plus are going to have to come in from the left a little bit, aren't they? I'm not sure whether the Alpha Plus on lay, Katie, or just under.
It's a tricky one to call. I was actually just looking at it. It looks like Trinity potentially have gone a little bit overlay, potentially, which I think it means that they're quite tight with Criolla now. I wonder if they could have maybe just tacked a little bit in front of Criolla, but yeah, I think it's quite hard to call from this far out, but I think potentially Alpha Plus might have to put 2 tacks in, and if Trinity can get kind of a bow down mode, fast mode, and get over Criolla, then I reckon they'll be leading at this top mark.
But it's super close. One thing for sure is a Sled. The regatta leaders going into this race are pretty deep in 11th. No way back, solid in 5th. This could be a pivot point for the leading leaderboard. But let's see, we've got a long way to go on this race. Alpha Plus leading just now. There's a long way in from that left side for the likes of Value and Gladiator, Momo, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, if you get pushed out to the kind of, so to say, wrong side of the race course, it's a long way back. But you are just fighting to get yourself a clear lane. But now Value being sent out again onto the left by Gladiator.
Alkedo working hard. They're in 5th at the moment. They've come back nicely since that start, Momo, haven't they?
Yeah, so have Paprec as well, I think. Those boats, if you just play the shifts nicely and try and gain every position that you can, it's still all to play for. And it's trying to get to the right-hand side of the course whilst trying to have a free lane is essential.
Just watching No Way Back having to take the stir, going behind Paprec. So this is, I think, a key moment for No Way Back, as you were saying, Momo, just trying to get to that right side and find a place on the ley line or close to the ley line.
Yeah, I think they're getting close to ley line. It does look like Alpha Plus is trying to push that high mode to get to the mark, and Trinity and Criolla can sail, a bit faster to get to the mark. So I think for Alpha Plus, it's a make or break whether you manage to get to the top mark without doing 2 tacks.
Of course, they were in a similar position on the previous race, and then they were head-to-head with Paprec, just losing out slightly to the French team at that first mark of the day. Maybe Alpha Plus are going to make this, but it's a... And maybe Trinity Racing just a little bit overlaid. Let's see what Katie thinks. There's a much better position. What do you think, Momo?
Yeah, I mean, Alpha Plus is really pushing the height. I think you can see really nicely how you can sail these boats in different modes. The difference between, overstanding the ley line a little bit like Trinity and Alpha Plus having to push up. But yeah, I think Alpha Plus is pushing the height, but it does look like they are just able to get to the top mark without doing 2 tacks, which would be really, really good for them.
Certainly, Edo Stead calling max height. You should just be able to squeeze inside Trinity Racing. Criolla not far behind.
But as Katie said, Trinity managed to roll over Criolla nicely, and that's a tough spot for Criolla to be in.
Yeah, because they're in the dirty air.
You cannot push a high mode if you don't have clear air to do so. So really, really tough position, and at some point they will be thinking about tacking twice.
Winding things up all the time on Alpha Plus just to keep that height. They'll have mark room over Trinity Racing just to windward, but this is going to be a little bit of an advantage to do these 2 leading boats, as you said. Criolla having to tack back, and maybe Teasing Machine managing to squeeze through in 3rd. We've got 2 boats certainly coming in on port. Not sure where are Alkedo going to be able to squeeze into. Actually, it's Caballo Loco just behind. Anyway, it is Alpha Plus who get round the top mark in first, overlapped with Trinity. Good work then from Alpha Plus. And then, as I said, Alkedo just getting stuck there, just inside boat with running out of wind pressure. Not sure they're going to be able to shoot the mark from there, Momo, are they?
Difficult spot to tack, but I guess there was no way to go behind teasing machine. So yeah, really trying to push it around the mark.
Teasing machine will just get round in front of them, and it's really tough moments for Andrea Lacorte, but they managed to get away, just building speed now. Patrick getting round them, but that's really, it's costing Alkedo all the time.
Yeah, but just like in dinghy racing, sometimes you
having
can't.
to dive round or go all the way round the outside.
Yeah.
We've got 5 boats overlapped coming in behind. This is really so close. And one of them is no way back, 4th in the raft up, as it were, out from the outside. Meantime, Platoon Aviation squeezing away quite nicely. That's been really expensive, Katie, for Provezza, hasn't it? Argentinian.
Oh, so expensive. I've literally been sat here holding my breath. I just realised I wasn't breathing at one point. Yeah, that is not the position you want to be in. You do not want to be having to jibe bound behind everyone. There's heaps on up here.
It'd be great if you just kept breathing, Katie.
Got a few more days to come. We need you.
But Trinity Racing coming away down that run quite nicely. Alpha Plus, a little bit of a split maybe, is there, Katie, as they go downwind. Alpha Plus going out to the left. Sled taking a penalty, I think, there. We're seeing that. That's costing them. They're regatta leaders. And you need to be keeping clear if you're doing your turns, Momo, don't you?
Yeah, but it's you saw quite well there how much speed it will cost you to do that turn, and maybe even waiting until you're up to a bit more speed to do that turn. But I guess if you're on the downwind, you have to do it as quickly as possible to set the kite. But yeah, being pressured by no way back up, and Vayu and Provezza electing to do a jibe set, but you see how they come up so high out of the jibe set to try and get the speed back that it is definitely a bit of a loss for a bit of time.
Wow, there's so much going on that windward mark, Katie. Some boats making significant gains. Gladiator actually coming away in 7th. Platoon Aviation in 8th. It's about predicting the log jams, what's going on ahead of you, and be able to get round them. And to that end, Platoon Aviation have done well. No Way Back have not done so good. We were just considering Momo, weren't we? Pretty much thinking, okay, No Way Back, 5th, 6th in this upwind, and now they're going round in 13th for the moment. We were just thinking that No Way Back might just be taking the regatta lead, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean that's how quickly it goes. One tough top mark rounding, especially on the first upwind, and you're being chucked back through the fleet. What I do find interesting, and you can really see the confidence of Ed Baird on Trinity, is jibing away early and going on a bit of an aggressive move on Alpha Plus. I think that's exciting racing.
And Caballo Loco nicely in the mix. Teasing machine also, Paprec. Let's have a quick look in a few seconds at our predicted standings on this first downwind of race 4. We'll get that just in a few seconds when our guys from Geo Racing wake up and stop eating their sweeties. Anyway, there you go. As by magic, Sled would be leading on 21 points. Paprec 23, Alkedo Vitamina 26, Alpha Plus 27, Platoon Aviation 27. So all to play for. Sled still hanging in there, but one thing, Momo, we're expecting a high-scoring regatta, and it's looking like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. There is there's no boat that is the absolute leader in this regatta and the clear favorite, especially in these conditions and in such a big fleet. There's all to play for, and as we will say many times again, it's a consistency that will pay throughout these 5 days of racing here.
Indeed, lots of room for improvement then all the way through the fleet. But as you said, Katie, Trinity going nicely down this first run, race 4. Alpha Plus hanging on nicely as well.
Yeah, I think both of them would probably have been looking behind them at that windward mark, like just so thankful they weren't involved in the carnage. Yeah, and also it's kind of a bit of a blessing when that does happen. You're kind of looking behind like kind of a bit, yeah, a bit like, oh, that looks terrible, but at least we get a bit kind of more of a lead from it. But yeah, I think really nice hoist from Alpha Plus on that windward mark. They were fully overlapped with Trinity, but Alpha Plus just managing to get that kite up quicker, get that kite filled quicker, and it just gave them like a crucial extra boat length and a half in front of them, which I think is potentially why Trinity Racing has jibed out, just to get a little bit clear and try and see if they can create an opportunity to overtake them and gain control of these lewards.
Indeed, but these top three boats have a little bit of a jump, haven't they? Over 120 metre, 130 metres between Caballo Loco and Teasing Machine. Teasing Machine, the two French boats, fourth and fifth.
I think we've definitely seen this trend now in the last few races, that the leading boats just have the ability to choose where to go and where to place their maneuvers, and that means the rich get richer. And being in the mid-fleet, being in the middle of the pack, is more challenging.
I'm bound to ask the question, Katie, is there a way back for no way back?
That is the question. I think there's always going to be a way back. Otherwise, why name your team No Way Back? No, I think there's always a way back. I think they've just got to be sensible about it, and they've got to kind of, patience, exactly. Not try and force anything, but try and do. I mean, when I sail or when I was sailing the 49er, our philosophy was kind of do the next right thing. So even if you're kind of in the trenches and you're not sure what's going on and you're a bit like, how do we create something? Figure out what the next right thing to do is, and then just keep doing that, and then let the people around you kind of make the mistakes and do the wrong things. And I think that's the way back for No Way Back.
Indeed, no, they've got the capacity to do that on board for sure. But they're pretty deep for the moment in this 15 boat fleet, this record fleet. But Alpha Plus, again, just emphasising the talent on board. You see Craig Monk there at the back of the boat on Alpha Plus, double or Olympic medalist, 2 times winner of the America's Cup with Team New Zealand. He's one of the absolute stalwarts of that team. But let's see, teams run by Luc van der Kamp, probably our youngest team manager in the fleet. Huge responsibility, but clearly doing a great job. They've been, and correspondingly Trinity Racing in second. Caballo Loco, Momo is the old Phoenix. You're talking about buying a proven, a successful boat, and that is certainly one of them.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
Good choice.
is. I mean, Phoenix was a very strong team for a very long time, and it's almost a little sad to see them go for a fan of the series. But it's cool to see new teams joining, and being able to buy a boat and everything that comes with it, and that has been sailed successfully is just speeds up the learning process. And good to see them fighting at the front there.
The owners were telling me that they got 104 sails with the boat. Friends of mine, they bought the old Phoenix and they got 85 sails. So you get one container for the boat, and then you get 2 containers full of sails. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Alpha Plus doing a great job, and there is Caballo Loco. The owners alternating, as far as I remember, alternating regattas on the helm. But they're having a great day for the moment. Patrick chipping away then, really getting up to 4th. Really sailing well, Katie, aren't they, the French team?
Yeah, literally as you were just saying that, I was having the exact same thought. Patrick definitely one to watch on this downwind. And as well, Teasing Machine, kind of those boats that have held on a bit longer, they look to be coming back in pretty powerful. It looks like Paprik's kind of closed up on Caballo Loco, and they could probably potentially jibe on top of them here or get themselves into good position to be gaining control around the lewards for the next upwind.
Indeed, a little point with Paprik. I mean, one of the teams that don't have a coach, Momo.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, after a start like that, to stay calm and to pick your lanes and to fight your way forward is a really, really strong achievement. But yeah, as you say, having a coach and having somebody that watches you from the outside, taking pictures of your sails, analyzing every movement outside of the boat is very, very, very good for learning and improving on these boats.
And one of the things we'll focus on over the course of this season is the 5-boat program that are run under the Quantum umbrella, and all of the kind of head coaches, James Line. They have some of the boats have got their own coach within that setup. Certainly, Gladiator have 2 coaches at the moment. And new to the team is Morgan Reeser, who was with Platoon Aviation before. But really, just interesting watching the tracks coming down there, Momo.
Yeah, I feel there's all to play for coming into this gate and placing your jibe at a good point and setting up your mark rounding for which mark you want to take. And in these conditions, just having a smooth drop, kite coming in quickly, being very smooth on the helm makes for a very good mark rounding.
So Katie, Alpha Plus looking good for the moment. They've got a 70 or 80 metre lead coming through this first lure gate. Again, the right, I mean, it's a little bit skewed because of our camera angle of the drone, but right-hand mark looking upwind, looking a little bit further upwind than the left. And Edo Stead, Ian Moore, etc., choosing that favoured right side. Not sure Caballo Loco are going to go on, Katie, yeah, sorry.
I think the wind's shifted a little bit further right again. I think they've changed the bearing to 135, so I think that's probably why Alpha Plus is opting to go around that mark. But there is a lot of the fleet on that ley line, and they are going to have to sail through dirt for quite a long time, I think, to get out of there. But I think they must clearly quite like that right-hand side. It looks like Caballo Loco maybe opting to split, go around the opposite mark. And that was quite powerful in the last race, I think. So I will have to kind of see, although their drop wasn't potentially the best, but we'll have to see how that plays out for them.
Difficult drop and a long way to go then to that other mark once you've kind of set up for the right mark. But I guess in that position, you know, it's open to try something and to try something different to the boats ahead of you.
Indeed, yeah, a little bit of a late change, I think, on Caballo Loco, perhaps. Bit of a slaloming coming into the mark, but a good gain for Alkedo, I think. Breeze built quite nicely, as well as Katie said, a 10-degree shift to the further to the right. So we've gone 100 in the first race to 135. I think Maria Trijo, our principal race officer, was telling the fleet. Platoon Aviation coming in from the right with pace, and will get round inside Vudu quite comfortably. Corresponding the right-hand mark, we've seen Gladiator coming round, and still 6 boats to go round. Vudu certainly coming round quite wide, Momo.
Yeah, dropping very late. I think in these conditions it does pay to even drop maybe sometimes a little earlier than later, and yeah, jib not coming on. Difficult mark rounding for them, but you saw Platoon. They did a textbook mark rounding, dropping the kite, jibing in wide, out tight on the mark, exactly how you want to do it.
Vayu just went through our picture just a few seconds ago. Provezza in 9th. No way back, even deeper, Katie, unfortunately. Not sure whether something happened with them, but no way back in 15th, Katie.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened. That is actually quite surprising to me, but yeah, maybe they just kind of were on the wrong side of the fleet. I mean, those leeward marks, when you're surrounded by heaps of boats, I think by the tracking and stuff, it looked like they potentially came in the middle of the pack, which is always a really hard place to be because you have to give room to the boats around you. So then you can end up losing kind of, well, depending how many boats are around you, you can lose 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of many places around those fluids. But yeah, see if they can find something upwind and kind of keep picking away, because I think it's just going to be all about picking off boats and trying to gain points back where they can.
Paprec also sailing a beautiful race. They just came together with Caballo Loco, and at the bottom mark they were behind. So it just really shows you how making every maneuver count and having a clean maneuver at every mark rounding means that you just gain those little bits, and if you keep on chipping away at the boats ahead of you, just waiting for them to make a bad rounding or make any little mistake.
It's something of a red letter day for Alpha Plus. I think potentially coming away with a 2 and a 1 today. Momo, that's good in anyone's book.
Very strong result, and from here on, I mean, they're leading. They can do their own thing.
They can impose themselves and sail their own race. Well, there you go. There's the projected results or the projected standings for the moment. If positions on the race course continued through to the finish line, Paprec would be leading. Just on the same points as Sled. Alkedo Vitamina would be up to 3rd. Platoon Aviation would be 4th. Alpha Plus up to 5th. And Noe back 6th. Teasing Machine 7th. But it's a dynamic leaderboard, isn't it, Momo? Really, it's up and down. And these, 3 points, 4 points between Alpha Plus and Paprec, and between 5 boats. Really anything could happen, but great to see Paprec coming through, also Alpha Plus having a solid day.
Yeah, as you said, a high-scoring regatta, and Alpha Plus having a really difficult day yesterday, but with a first and a second. But you can really climb up the leaderboard. It's quite amazing to see.
But it's all about consistency. I mean, about Katie, a good day for Paprec, all in all. Again, a team that weren't so good in Puerto Portals.
Yeah, a really good day for Paprec actually, and I mean, we've seen the places in these races change so quickly, and if you get stuck in the middle of the fleet, it's so easy to just lose places, and I think they've done a really good job of kind of picking their way through the fleet, and they've done a really good job of being consistent, which is a buzzword, clearly. But yeah, I think that, really good job by them.
And they didn't have the best of starts to the season. I think they came into the season with really very high expectations, did the French, having been finishing 3rd on the podium and just missing out in the World Championship. They finished 9th, and really in the middle of that regatta in Mallorca they did a 13-10, 12-12, and indeed started with a 14th. So definitely some uptick in the results, in the performance of the French team. And indeed, Teasing Machine, they're having a pretty decent regatta in some places, showing signs of brilliance in some spots. Momo, aren't they? The other French team.
Yeah, absolutely. They started off with first yesterday, and then after that, the second race was pretty difficult for them, but resetting every time and getting back to this race and being in second position is a very strong result.
But the great thing in terms of the big picture and the fleet and the owners as a whole, it's so important to get some good results over the course of the regattas and over the course of the season. That's really what motivates the teams to keep going. Big investment, and it's all about incremental gains and making sure that you're always kind of moving forwards, isn't it?
Well, it speaks for the level of this fleet that you celebrate winning a single race in an event.
Especially Jean-Luc.
Yeah, as you could see on Paprec after the last race. But yeah, it speaks for the quality of the fleet. Winning one race is a very strong result. Having a day like Alpha Plus is even stronger. And it speaks for the
just
quality of all the sailors. Just talk to me
about momentarily we're watching. It's more obvious in terms of helm movement with Eric de Turckheim on the wheel. Just talk to me a little bit about using the helm and how much you want to use it. It's minimal movements, isn't it?
Yeah, minimal movements. You obviously have to drive and adjust, but you're trying to move as little as possible to keep nice flow around the foils. As I mentioned earlier, you're looking for up to 4 degrees of rudder angle to the windward side. This kind of maximizes your lift and minimizes your leeway. And it's basically on the TP52. That's kind of the optimum number you're constantly looking for.
No more.
No more, no, because
causing drag.
at that point the drag increases exponentially. So up to 4 degrees, you still have minimal drag, and after that, the flow starts getting off the foil, and you just increase the drag exponentially.
But I mean, the margins steering these boats are so tiny, isn't it? We're talking about a shooting angle in the jib of 4 degrees as well, aren't we?
Absolutely, and a lot of what defines the rudder angle is actually the rake of the mast. So the development of these boats has been to ever increase the rake of the mast, because they've just realized that rudder angle is probably one of the most important numbers on the upwind. So the boats are raking the mast at almost 5 degrees, and in 2008 these boats were raking at 1 degree. So a big increase there, and you're constantly adjusting the rake to kind of get to that sweet spot of the rudder angle number.
And it was actually, I think, Sled who really pushed the rake significantly, going way back, and everybody's moved into the same kind of setup progressively.
Yes, by increasing the rake and leaning the whole setup back, you kind of move the center of effort of the sails aft of the turning point, and so you constantly have to steer against that, which then creates the rudder angle which you're looking for.
So great, I've got 2 geeks, one on the water and one with me on the studio. I love it, I can switch off. Katie, it's every day's a school day, as we say in the 52 Super Series.
Yeah, very much is, and I love it. Just looking at this upwind, it looks like the right-hand side has seen quite a big gain, potentially. I'm just looking at kind of Gladiator hitting that right-hand side quite hard. It potentially looks like they might have gained a place or two. It looks like there's a bit of a right-hand shift. Whether that holds until the mark, we'll see. But yeah, for me, that right-hand side is looking quite good right now.
Indeed, and of course the converse of that, if you like, is Caballo Loco. Caballo Loco looked quite good in the first third of the beat, but now they're just losing a couple of places as that right side strengthens. Teasing Machine nicely positioned in third. Paprec, could potentially take fourth. Let's see how this plays out. Gladiator, as Katie said, just making some gains now. Whether no way back and make a couple of gains, they're probably the third most right-hand boat.
I mean, a bit of match racing here, but Paprec kind of sent Cabello Loco to the left-hand side. And this just shows you that if you don't get to choose where to go yourself, but you are forced by other boats, it's a difficult position to be in. So, yeah, but nice move from Paprec there, constantly chipping away at the boats ahead of them.
But you're just starting to see that lift that Katie was talking about, right-hander coming in. Compare that to the position of the boats coming up to the windward mark, first time up, Momo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's where the ley line call comes in, is looking ahead and maybe even spotting that shift and going underneath the ley line can be a really big gain towards the fleet.
Credit, of course, to Vasco and Jordi on Platoon Aviation. Juan Villa making some gains, getting up to fifth. That's useful in this fleet on day 2 of the World Championship. No wonder they're 3 times world champions. Gladiator 2, as Katie said, have made some gains. They were so deep, they're now up to 6, so that right-hander working for them. And in the end, Alpha Plus maybe just even overstood a little bit. Certainly have a nice, easy runway into this top mark. Final rounding of race 4, second race of the day. And the day really belongs to Alpha Plus, to Sean and Tina Kang's boat from Hong Kong.
That's really good for them to see. I mean, they also have a lot of young guys in the team. And just having these results and having these days proves to everyone else, and it really proves to your own team that you can do it and that you can perform at just the top.
So just setting up nicely for the final windward mark of the day. 2 races a little bit later than yesterday. It's 4 o'clock local time here in Sardinia. Not quite as efficient as yesterday, Momo, is it?
not quite as efficient. But I think the race committee did a nice job of setting the race course out here. It's just made it a bit more, an even race course and a bit more to play for. I think it's always nice to see a race committee trying new things and, trying to improve the racing.
You see Sean Kang, then the owner, just there on the rail in Alpha Plus. A great day for him, and indeed his wife Tina. Set up nicely, nice hoist.
Yeah, at this point it's kind of keeping things simple, doing the maneuvers well.
Then the windward mark just now, the Paprec, the two French boats coming together. They're friends and rivals in every sense. They've both come from an offshore background. Paprec, though, came into the circuit earlier, and Teasing Machine just slowed. They're just losing to Gladiator around that top mark. But what a recovery from the Gladiators, Katie.
Yeah, they really made the most of that right-hand mark, actually, right-hand side upwind, and I think, really well sailed, really kind of, I mean, the right-hand side's been strong, and I think they kind of kept it simple, tried to get a clean rounding, head out to that right-hand side, not engage with other boats, and I think that's what's really made the difference here.
Indeed, there's some more gains there, but very close around that top mark between Paprec and Teasing Machine. But that, I think, to the benefit of Gladiator, who've caught up a little bit. Platoon Aviation just coming into the top mark now.
Teasing Machine having an issue with their kite at the moment. That's and I think it looked like the Gladiator guys actually kind of noticed that was happening, sailed high on the spreader so that they could jibe set inside them. So that was really good awareness from them. But oh man, Teasing Machine, you'd be pretty dark about that 2 days in a row.
Yeah,
you would. It's lack of practice, I guess, isn't it? It's procedures and processes, as Tony Langley likes to talk about.
Yeah, it shows you that, doing these maneuvers 1,000, 100 times really pays. And Teasing Machine just needing a little more time on the boat and double, triple checking. But frustrating,
It has cost them a few places, a few meters, especially doubly frustrating, of course, when they're up against their compatriots. Paprec getting away from it, although they lost a couple of places. I think Teasing Machine dropping significantly down to 12th, but all looking good for Alpha Plus. Credit also to Trinity Racing. Trinity Racing have sailed a really solid race, Momo, haven't they?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Nice day for both boats.
Value seem to have a little bit of a problem where I think they've lost a sheet. But they're sorting that one out. It's just taking them a few seconds.
Also a tough mistake to make, and it makes me unhappy to see that for the Value boys. But important to react quickly. They're going straight into a jibe. They saw that they lost that sheet. And you're just trying to keep on going and think on your feet. Mistakes will happen. Obviously, happen less on the seasoned and boats that have been here for a while. But mistakes will happen, and keeping your eyes up. And
look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? Paprec will lead the regatta by 3 points if positions stay the same. They would have 3 points on no way back. Sled dropping to third. And a little bit of a tough day for them, not quite able to match the fabulous level of consistency on day one. But they will be in third. Alkedo Vitamina in 25 points, sharing the same points tally at the moment as Sled. Alpha Plus getting up to 27, Platoon Aviation 27. But it's really a fantastic regatta. It's so close and so many different boats on different days, but really all credit to the French team in Paprec today. They've really kept things tight and starting to show some real polish, aren't they, Momo?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just tidy, good maneuvers. I mean, it does show you, I think, I'll be a bit biased here, but the offshore teams just do have very good, very strong boat handling. They've sailed these boats in rough conditions and they know what they're doing. And you can see that they've spent a lot of time sailing. And I think just now on the drone shot, you could see them really all pushing the weight out together. And and I've said it before, but
I mean, I think it's interesting with that, but I mean, I think one of the things, going back to, coaching and the support they have or don't have compared to some of the big teams, it's so much of what they've got is self-taught and self-learned and self-analysis, isn't it? Which is, let's say, it's distinct from some of the big teams who have a coach watching them all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm a little surprised even that they don't have a coach. You can see the owner there looking at the drone again, enjoying his time out there on the water. But yeah, doing it without a coach means you're just relying a lot of the input that you feel on the boat, and a lot of intuition. But yeah, they seem to be doing nicely without one.
Yeah, anyway, they're going well today. Alpha Plus actually have extended nicely and will roll into their jibe by the looks of things. Talk to us about this manoeuvre. The kite goes across first and it'll be set before they bring the main across.
Yeah, so in this race, the breeze has increased slightly, and now they're doing outside jibes. So I think the crossover is around about 7-8 knots of wind, and in this increased breeze, you're pulling the clew out around the body of the kite. It means that you do a bit of a later cast off. You're easing the kite, and then you're really trying to rotate it quickly around itself.
What a race, though. I mean, isn't it? Some of the places have changed significantly. Talking about No Way Back, who were down in 15th, getting up to 9th. Gladiator, I think, were down in 11th and 12th early on, and maybe even deeper now, up to 4th in this race. Alkedo, have been fairly consistent, really. But it's all about patience and waiting for the opportunities, Katie, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think reacting to what's happening around you as well. I mean, a lot of people are kind of having issues. There's a lot of incidents been happening. And I think reacting to that and making sure that you can kind of win out of those situations and not get sucked into it, I think is super important. And I think that's what, a lot of the teams like Gladiator at that Windward Mark, for example, who saw that TZ Machine had an issue and kind of decided to jibe away, because if they hadn't, they'd have been stuck above TZ Machine, and that would have really kind of messed up their downwind. So yeah, I think just identifying what's going on around you and really having to be super switched on today.
So the finish is going to be between the Mark and the rubber boat. So change the finish line. So that'd be something for the teams to be aware of, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. But great aerial shots there. This is absolutely Porto Cervo, Costa Smeralda at its best. Sparkling waters, beautiful, craggy, mountainous scenery in the background, and a little Gladiator have got a little hole in their kite. It's not should hold out to the finish, Momo, don't you think?
Yeah, it should hold out, and I mean, at this point, you're gonna have to try and get into the finish with that. The cost of changing a kite is really big, so you just cross your fingers and really hope that hole doesn't get any bigger, and try to minimize the maneuvers.
And they've got 120, 130 meters in theory back to Alkedo Vitamina, but it's just cross fingers, I think. Tony Langley there.
I think you can see them preparing the new kite on the boat, probably ready for every circumstance, and that's where you can see the experience kind of shining. They saw the hole, and they're just preparing to change the kite if the hole does get bigger and if the kite is absolutely unusable. And yeah, that's good boat handling.
Anyway, it's looking like I think it's probably the best ever day for the team on Alpha Plus. A little funny for you is that, or certainly those of you who follow the team on Instagram will know that I think most of the afterguard have been up the big mountain, which overlooks Porto Cervo. Have been up there every morning. Not quite sure what the combination. Certainly Luke, the project manager, has been up most days, and indeed I think Nick and Ian Moore were up this morning. Great way to start the day, Momo, isn't it? And get a good look at the racetrack.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's cool to be here, and I've been up that mountain a few times myself, especially in the days where you have too much wind here and Mistral wind. Then the best option is just to run up that mountain to clear your head and to do something.
Well, certainly part of the magic for Alpha Plus, I think. They're pretty comfortable there now. Platoon Aviation will be just on the cusp of mid-fleet with no way back, getting up to 8th. These two finishing one after the other once again.
And I mean, we've talked about Paprick a lot, but they've just gained a position at every mark rounding, and it's just very, very strong sailing, and it just speaks to their confidence.
Which is to say, I think is restored after Puerto Portals. They came away just having felt that they didn't quite perform to what they felt was their potential. But Alpha Plus then are a solid day for them, second and a first. Nick Egnott Johnson, I think the youngest helm in the fleet, handing over the helm to Ado Stead as they come through the line. So a win in race 4 for the team from Hong Kong. Very happy, as well they might be. Ian Moore shaking hands with Craig Monk, I think they're at the back of the boat. And Trinity Racing coming through. They've had a pretty solid day overall. And that's really, once again, an object lesson in sailing clean, sailing in their own lane as much as possible. For a brand new team, that's a solid result. And I think their heads were down a little bit after day 1, and that gives them cause for a little bit more confidence anyway. And Paprick, our regatta leaders, unless I'm mistaken, we'll get the leaderboard in a few seconds. It's all about where Sled are. Loic Pirong there. Handshakes all round. Big hug for Navigator. And a wonderful day for Paprick too, moving into the lead. Gladiator stayed patient, made their gains when that gain came, Katie, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think they, just kept themselves clean. I mean, it's what Trinity did super well in both races, actually, on the upwinds, just kind of getting themselves clear of everyone, not overcomplicating it, and just making the most of what the gain is on that specific leg.
So credit to Gladiators, credit also to Alkedo, minimising the mistakes, maximising the gains when they come. Unfortunately, I think Caballo Loco, Momo, just it's a little bit of a case of what should have been, what woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, little mistakes creeping in, at the bottom mark, not having a great rounding, then being sent out to the wrong side on the second upwind. It's just these little mistakes that really hurt you, and it's easy to lose those places, difficult to gain them back.
But credit to Platoon Aviation and particularly, I think, no way back. We remember we're down in 15th place and coming through in 8th. That will keep them very much in contention for the regatta podium anyway. Sled not really having their best of days after that excellent opening day. Value coming through alongside Allegra. So 10th place for Allegra. Some green shoots, as it were, for them, I think. Had a good first race. Value. And then Provezza coming through the line now. Sled get 12th. That's the worst score since race 7 in Puerto Portals, of course, when they had that penalty on the approach to the windward mark in race 7. But they'll be back without a doubt. A team with so much experience, and Criolla coming through the line just behind Provezza and Vudu, unfortunately. Then the new kids on the block getting 15th. It's a mountain to climb, but it's taking things step by step. So the Italian team get 15th, but Momo, a fantastic day's racing, really. 2 races, day 2 4 races in, absolutely pretty much on schedule, great racing, great conditions.
Yeah, beautiful conditions. The sea breeze set in as forecasted. I think it was the right decision for the race committee to go out here. And yeah, it just gave the teams a few more options here and there, and especially boats finding themselves in the middle of the pack after the start, just got the opportunity to fight back.
A few questions on social media from time to time saying, well, okay, we've got these great conditions. It's we know, why don't we do three races a day? It's all about giving the teams the chance to have optimum sport, isn't it? And just not pushing them too hard. I know that sounds kind of a little bit woke in some ways, but it's about giving them the optimum sport, the optimum chance to perform. And if we know we've got good conditions through the week, then let's stick to the schedule. Isn't that the case?
Absolutely, and I mean there are some positions on these boats which you just can't do effectively more than 2 hours. Like helming, it takes a huge amount of concentration. You're constantly looking at the numbers and relying on your feeling. You just wouldn't be able to do that effectively after 2 hours. And yeah, that's why I think doing 2 races is a good amount.
Perfect. Thanks, Momo. Let's have a look at the standings after 4 races. Well, it is indeed the French team on top. Paprec with 21 points, leading the regatta. They led the World Championship actually last year in Cascais in Portugal, if I'm not mistaken. No way back in second on 23 points. So many sailors on board that boat have won the World Championship before, but Peter Harima certainly hasn't. Sled in third, dropping to third after a 6 and a 12 today. 24 points, 25 for Alkedo Vitamina, 25 also for Platoon Aviation, 15 points for the day for the German 3 times world champions. Alpha Plus, that 2 and a 1 today, taking them up to 6th on 27 points. 28 for Trinity Racing, not far behind. Best team of the day, of course, then Alpha Plus, second best team, Trinity Racing. So all credit to them. Value 14th and 11th. A big heavy score for them after that great opening day. Gladiator 8 and 4, pretty solid really all in all in this fleet, particularly making these gains in the second race. Allegra 4 and a 10, well, room for improvement, but things moving in the right direction generally for Andy Soriano and his team. Happy birthday to Andy. It is his birthday. Teasing Machine in 11th at the moment, 11 and a 9. Provezza, tough day for them with that 13th and 12th. Caballo Loco and Criolla on 38 and 45, and Vudu, the new kids on the block, in 15th. But another great day's racing. Do join us again tomorrow. Thank you so much for your great insights on the water, Katie Dabson, and in the studio, Momo will join us again tomorrow for another great day's racing on the 52 Super Series and the Rolex TP52 World Championship 2026. See you then.
At Palm Beach Motor Yachts, we build for those who lead. This comes from our history in competitive ocean racing, where advanced technologies and a spirit to win shape our every advantage on the water. We carry those lessons into every motor yacht that we design and build, using efficient and balanced hulls to deliver performance that feels effortless. Paired with meticulous craftsmanship and engineering, it creates a quiet confidence you can sense the moment you take the helm. Palm Beach Motor Yachts, from ocean racing innovation to cruising perfection.